Hey, what's up, guys? Gangster Jeweler here. We are live, y'all. I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. We got a pretty good stream tonight. Let me get me pulled up here. Just a second. What's up, guys? Appreciate y'all tuning in with me tonight, man. But this is going to be a good stream, or should be a good stream. Where the fuck? So you don't hate the American healthcare system enough. As if the healthcare system wasn't already bad as it is. I mean, it's fucked up anyways. It's always been fucked up. I don't think it's ever going to get any better. That's just my personal opinion. If they wanted to fix it, they would have done fixed it by now. You know what I mean? But it ain't fixed. And I don't think it's ever going to be fixed. That's the sad part. Well, let's go ahead and jump straight into it, y'all.
Hello. Didn't think you'd see me again, did you? I didn't think I'd see me again either. A couple months ago, my mom passed away from breast cancer, and so I thought I
Damn.
was just done with YouTube.
Can we just say fuck cancer, yo? Like, cancer is just fucking. I wish we could find a cure for cancer, dude. I mean, cancer has taken out so many people. And the amount of people that I know that have died from lung cancer from smoking is just insane. But isn't that crazy though? That you have people know they're going to get lung cancer, right? But they continue to smoke. Even if they, and then you got some people like my uncle, he passed away about a year, 2 years ago. You know, he had cancer, but even though he had cancer, he was still smoking. He had a cigarette in one hand and a freaking inhaler in the other. Can you believe that shit? I'm like, why? I guess I don't know. Maybe people just don't care.
With everything. There no longer seemed like a point in doing anything if my mom wasn't around for me to make her laugh or to make her proud. I don't think soulmates always have to come in the form of romantic relationships, and I thought my mom
For
was my
sure.
soulmate, my everything, my ride or die, and without her around anymore.
Well, usually your parents are going to be your ride and die. You know, nobody else is really going to ride or die for you. You might be in a marriage and think your husband or wife is going to ride and die for you. Nah, 9 times out of 10, not so much. Now that doesn't mean that all family members are going to ride and die with you. Does not mean that either.
What the hell was I even doing here? But maybe there is one reason. What if, through telling you my mom's story, I could warn you of the horrors that await you? What if I told you that you don't hate the American healthcare system enough? People are always bitching about how bad the American healthcare system is.
Yeah, it's unaffordable. Nobody can afford it. I mean, you're one bad accident away from fucking being bankrupt, you know? Like, most Americans can't afford to get sick. Like, they can't afford to be sick. They can't afford to miss work. They can't afford to, they just can't. Can't afford to miss work. They can't afford the health care. They can't afford the hospital bill. And even if you have good insurance, that still doesn't even mean that you're going to have no bill. That's like, I know a dude that he has like probably one of the best health insurances you could have. He's got Federal, Blue Cross, and Blue Shield, or Florida Blue now, I guess is what it's called. It's called. But yeah, it was federal. But still, even with that, he had hernia surgery, and he still got a bill for like 15 grand. So fucking crazy.
We spend more on healthcare per capita than any other developed nation, and yet our life expectancy is significantly worse. It's so ass backwards that it's appropriately reached meme status. But do you know why? No, I don't think you do. I don't
No, we
think
probably
anybody
don't know.
truly understands how bad it really is until they've gone through it themselves, because you're largely divorced from things until you actually get sick, and I think that's part of the business model. The American system doesn't
Yo,
focus on preventative care and overall wellness. It waits. Your suffering is monetized. When you have a chronic illness slowly taking away your autonomy,
damn. That's a bar right there. Your suffering is monetized. That's 100%. Just like, now they got to where you can live with AIDS. Like AIDS used to be a death sentence, but not anymore. It used to be a fucking death sentence. But now they got pills where you can live, normal life, but you got to take these pills that cost a fortune for the rest of your life. There is no money in curing shit. They just try to find a way to make you live with it.
Me, your bargaining power is destroyed. You can't refuse things the way that they are because then you'd be throwing your own life away. It's like getting mugged every time you walk into the ER. And for what? Are the outcomes better than in other countries? No! The US has a higher rate of deaths to preventable or treatable illnesses across all ages when compared to other wealthy countries. If you live here, your likelihood of dying in such a spectacularly demeaning and entirely preventable fashion is through the roof because the US healthcare system has no qualms with hiring complete fucking retards, and because the nurse at the front desk sent the doctor an x-ray of a fucking hand instead of your goddamn mammogram result. That's a real thing that happened to my mom, by the way. What's that? You're bleeding out and you need an ambulance to take you to the hospital down the road? That'll be $3,000, please. Huh? You're wondering why?
Yeah, it's crazy. And that's true. People are always like, hey, if I'm sick or I get in trouble, drive me to the hospital. Don't call the ambulance. I don't want the ambulance coming to get my ass. Hell yeah. That's crazy. You got to spend 3 grand just for the ambulance ride.
On your itemized receipt, we charged you $400 for a single capsule of Tylenol? Fuck you, that's why. Also,
Yeah, for real. That's crazy. You can go get Tylenol over the counter for like fucking. Damn, if you want to get the generic, you could probably get like 500 for $5 maybe. $400 for one Tylenol pill? Shit, I'm in the wrong business, yo. Sounds like I need to be out there on the street selling Tylenol.
your unborn child has autism now, and that's exactly what happened to my mom. My mom was failed every step of the way and died from a cancer that wasn't even spreading very fast. Doctors had a 13-year head start to do something about it, and they did exactly jack shit.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy? I wonder if her mom had health care, or if she did, it might not have been very good. But isn't that crazy that you can't get health care? You could be dying from an illness, and they're just like, well, sorry, don't have health insurance. Can't afford the surgery. Sorry.
13 years ago, anytime my mom was wearing a tank top, that's when I saw it. On the outer edge, just below her armpit, there it was, a dimple. I was like 20 years old at the time, young and fresh-faced and, not studying medicine in college or anything, and even my dumbass knew that she needed to get that checked. And she did. And she got a mammogram about it, and they found nothing. And why did they find nothing when such a very obvious symptom of breast cancer was staring everybody in the face? Well, the short answer is that the people doing her mammogram were retarded. The long answer is that they did a mammogram.
They were retarded. I agree. Everybody seems to think that like these nurses and doctors are like fucking. Look, I understand some of them are miracle workers. I get that. But some of them don't seem to understand that these are just regular people, dude. Like, doctors make mistakes all the time, nurses make mistakes all the time, just like anybody else. They're not foolproof. Now, I'm not trying to give them an out, you know what I mean? But yeah, they're regular people, man. And doctors fuck up all the time, just like the rest of us.
And nothing else. No follow-up. Now I know what you're thinking, but Mika, aren't mammograms the industry standard for early breast cancer detection? You can't blame doctors if they were only doing exactly what they were supposed to do. Mammograms are great if you have normal, fatty breast tissue.
I've been using Riverside now for over 5 years. Riverside is an all-in-one recording and editing platform that lets you capture studio quality.
My mom didn't have that.
I can relate to her 100%. So for those of you that don't know, I had to have 2 sinus surgeries. Back when I was 29, I got deathly ill, and I thought I was gonna die. Like literally, I was gonna die. There was nothing I could do, man. Like it was hard for me to breathe. My face was swollen and hurt, and up here in my sinuses, and there just wasn't shit I could do, man. I kept going to the emergency room. They just kept trying to give me antibiotics and all kinds of shit. Then my tonsils swelled out so big that it was hard for me to breathe or eat, you know? And it about damn near killed me, man. I felt like I was gonna die for real. But luckily, I wound up having one sinus surgery. But you know that doctor fucked it up. He made an extra hole in the right maxillary sinus, and the mucus was just recirculating, so it kept getting infected. So I wound up having to have a second surgery to fix what the first one had fucked up. Now, knock on wood, I'm good now, but I suffered for like 2 years, man. That was rough. Like I seriously thought that my days were numbered.
My mom had dense breast tissue, which is a type of breast tissue that has a higher ratio of glandular and fibrous material in it. So when you get a mammogram with tissue like this, the whole thing lights up like a goddamn Christmas tree, and it's impossible to really see much of anything except bunch of white stuff. Differentiating between fibrous tissue and malignant tumors is very difficult like this. When you have dense breast tissue, you also have a higher chance of developing breast cancer over your lifetime because there is a higher rate of cellular activity in it. What you're supposed to do with women with dense breast tissue is give them a supplementary MRI or ultrasound. This became the standard practice for this type of breast tissue as early as 2009, and between 2012 and 2017, this was never once suggested to my mom. My mom did what every woman is told to do and started getting yearly screenings since she turned 40, and doctors still managed to royally fuck this up. Not once while screening tissue that very clearly occluded itself did doctors ever consider, maybe we should try other methods of diagnostics. And
You know, I'm not very big on suing people, but this sounds like a case where it might actually be warranted, especially if you had something that was life-threatening as cancer, and they're like, "No, you're fine, you're good."
in order to get the most conclusive result here. My mom wouldn't be diagnosed with breast cancer until 2017. The dimples in her breast began to grow in number and started to itch, so my mom sought out a dermatologist. And it was the dermatologist, not a breast specialist. The derma-fucking-tologist was the one.
Now that's crazy. The breast specialist couldn't find it, but a dermatologist. It's like, hey man, I think you got cancer. Wow. Yeah, I'm not for suing, man, but if I lost my loved one due to somebody misdiagnosing, I don't know. That sounds like a lawsuit.
To finally look at her dimples and say, oh shit, you need a biopsy, like, right fucking now. The results came in. It was cancer. Full body scans were done. Stage 4. This is going to be a recurring gripe from me during
Stage 4. See, and that's the thing. If they'd caught it early when it was just small, they might have been able to do something about it.
this story. This obvious negligence on behalf of healthcare professionals. I can't say exactly what possesses a doctor to do stuff like this, but I've narrowed it down to 2 things. When you live in the United States, your balls are forever in a vice grip constructed by health insurance companies. Sometimes the only thing standing between you and that ultrasound you really need is your health insurance company's reluctance to pay for the damn thing. But since it was never actually suggested that my mom get an ultrasound or an MRI, the reason for my mom's slow diagnosis could have only been the other thing. Gay baby idiot retard brain disease, a horrible condition that affects many in the medical industry. There is no cure. My mom had savings. She could have paid out of pocket for an ultrasound, it was just never suggested to her. A lot of people view doctors as these infallible scholars, almost.
No, a lot of doctors are fucking retarded, dude. Like, for real. A lot of doctors are just fucking retarded.
Otherworldly and incapable of fucking up. Like, you have to be really smart and determined to survive medical school, right? Oh, buddy!
No,
If only you knew how bad things really are. Doctors
there's
are
there's a
people.
lot of stupid
I'm a
doctors out
people,
there.
you're a people. And people can be lazy. I can be lazy, and a doctor can be lazy. Just because you're a medical professional doesn't mean that you're incapable of falling into the trap that is not wanting to do your job. But what's perplexing to me
100%.
is that these doctors don't seem to realize that when they're not locked in at work, they're playing with somebody else's life. If I don't do my job, you don't get a YouTube video for a couple of months. If a doctor doesn't do their job, somebody dies. Let's also talk about the elephant in the room. My mom was black. No, I'm not adopted. I look like this because my dad is white, and I don't go outside. We all know that I think corporate wokeness is a blight on society, but that doesn't mean I don't think that racism doesn't exist. Black women are more likely to have their symptoms dismissed or minimized, leading to delays in diagnosis for conditions like heart disease, autoimmune
Damn.
disorders, and breast cancer.
That is so fucked up, dude. That is crazy.
Black women are more likely to be diagnosed with aggressive breast cancers and
Damn, looking at her, you wouldn't think her mom was black.
often at later stages, partly because their concerns are taken
Shit, she's whiter than I am. She's almost as white as Michael Jackson.
less seriously, or their pain or symptoms are misattributed. There are still doctors out there that don't think women have nerve endings in their cervix, so they just go in there with a big pair of sharpened forceps and just grab you by the pussy. There are medical professionals out there
Grab me
that
by the
still think
pussy.
that black people have higher pain tolerances.
Hey, didn't Trump say that? Grab him by the pussy.
My mom wasn't poor, she wasn't uneducated, she knew to get regular screenings. Do I think all doctors go to racism class at medical school and learn to treat black people differently? No. I'm just trying to say that doctors aren't these paragons of virtue and education that a lot of people seem to think they are, and yeah, that includes certain character flaws like potentially being racist. A lot of them are just egomaniacs, formerly gifted children that pursue these high-skilled careers.
You know, that reminds me of my mother's knee surgeon. You know, I went in there. This guy was so fucking egotistical. It was crazy. You know, my mother had her meniscus removed in her knee, and she really needs a knee replacement, is what she really needs. But with that said, I went with her to her doctor's appointment one time to see this knee surgeon. He was such a dickhead. You know, he's asking her like treating us like we were poor or something, you know? He's like, "What do you do for work?" Asking her. And then he's asking me what I do for her. I'm like, "Dude, I'm here with her. It's none of your fucking business what I do for work. I'm not here for an interview, you know?" He was such a dickhead, dude. But I checked him real quick.
So that they can effectively self-flagellate at high school reunions, and they don't necessarily give a shit about the people that they're trying to treat. And for that reason, I think people need to be more selective when choosing doctors when they can, and they shouldn't be afraid of getting second opinions when these people have no qualms with gaslighting you when you know there is something wrong with your own body. So whether it was plain incompetence or...
You know, back when I was telling you guys, back when I was 29, I was having that pretty serious health issue that I had to have 2 sinus surgeries and my tonsils removed for. I went to the hospital and they ran every test possible, said they couldn't find an infection, they just couldn't find shit. But whatever it was, about damn near killed me. Luckily, knock on wood, finally after 2 years and 2 sinus surgeries later, whatever it was, and they still never could give me a definitive answer. Like, I finally started to get better, but that took a long freaking time.
a doctor taking one look at the black lady waiting quietly in their office for a checkup and thinking, oh, there's a black woman in here, I'd rather not. My whole day is ruined. My mom was never given the screenings that she deserved. Initially, they gave my mom 3 months to live. Initially, my mom didn't even tell me she had cancer.
Yeah, when you got stage 4, you're pretty much fucked. Not always. I do know somebody that had stage 4 or that has stage 4 lung cancer right now, and they've been alive for shit. I think going on almost 10 years. but they're still not cancer free, which is crazy.
One day, she came to visit me at college and she took me out to dinner. She was her usual goofy self, cracking jokes at every opportunity. She didn't seem anxious at all. The only thing out of the ordinary that happened was that she handed me an envelope and inside of it was 20 grand. Confused, I asked her,
20 grand. Wow.
haha, what's wrong? What are you, dying or something? She said casually, without her gaze wavering or her voice cracking, no, nothing like that. It's just for being a good kid. I took the money and put it in a safe without any intention of ever using it, and I would end up giving it back to her 4 months later, a month after her initial prognosis. She was still alive and well, and I had no idea she was even sick. And eventually, when I told her that I had plans to travel the world after college, she finally broke down and told me that she'd rather I stayed close for the time being, because she in fact had stage 4 breast cancer.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so you try to hide it, man. You try to hide it from your kids. You know, you don't want your kids to ever think that there's something wrong with you. You know, you always try to stay strong for them, but you can't. Sometimes you just can't, man. That's
My
crazy.
mom was lucky enough to be put on a medication that seemed to stop any and all metastasis. She was completely asymptomatic for 8 years after this. She didn't need surgery or chemotherapy. It was inoperable anyway, but for the time being, we thought she was in the clear. Sometimes the world around you changes and you have to leave.
See, I don't understand that though. Why do they say it's inoperable? Like, I can understand if you have like cancer on, say, like your liver and it's kind of like partially attached to your kidney or something like that, or your intestines or whatever. But if it's just in one area, I always wonder why they say it's inoperable. Is it because when they're cutting it out, like does the stuff like break open and then spread through the bloodstream or something? I don't know. I've always wondered that why they say it's inoperable, especially if it's in one just in one area.
The state where you had good health insurance and slow but more or less competent doctors. Sometimes you have to move to an area of the country where every doctor within an hour's drive is a complete knuckle-dragging homunculus that delights in watching you suffer, and that's how my mom got into the situation that she was in earlier this year. In February of this year, my mom was no longer on the fancy health insurance. She opted to switch to Medicare in light of all of the
Oh,
rising costs of
yeah, Medicare. Fuck Medicare. Anything government related? Yeah, good luck. Good fucking luck. Yeah, man. But I guess it really don't matter because it don't matter what health insurance you got. I just it just seems like a lot of doctors they just don't even give a shit really. I mean, I know that that's not all doctors, but a lot of them I've ever dealt with, they're just it almost seems like you're just bothering them. Like you're intruding on their time in their day.
everything. And while, of course, she still had cancer, it hadn't bothered her in years. It lay dormant inside of her body, and as long as she was regularly taking her 2 medications, Ibrance and Letrozole, everything was fine. She was, however, having a rough time connecting with the oncologists in her network. All of them seemed extremely dismissive about her condition and very unbothered with her and unsympathetic. So she kept trying to switch oncologists. She'd even heard a couple of them joking in the hallways of their medical offices about how cancer was a big business, and she kind of didn't want to deal with people like that. She was just looking for somebody.
That's so fucked up, dude. That is so fucked up. And to be saying that where you know the patient could probably hear it. Kind of like this freaking like my mother's knee surgeon. He's a fucking dick. Like I don't even know how he's even a doctor, man. He should have been fired a long time ago.
Who was willing to do the bare minimum of quelling her anxiety and having decent bedside manner. So she found another new oncologist. and they stopped prescribing my mom her medication. Why? Shit, man, your guess is just as good as mine. There was no new metastasis. Her tumor markers were even shrinking in places. This doctor wanted to give my mom a new medication, and my mom was rightfully confused about it. The side effects of this new medication were gnarly as fuck, and my mom didn't want to have to put up.
Yeah, don't fuck with it with what ain't broke. If the medication she was on was shrinking the tumors, shit, keep going. But see, it's all a game, man. You know, he probably switched her to that other medication because I think a lot of these doctors get kickbacks if they prescribe their patients that drug. You know, it's all one game, man. It's all a money game. And then look, I'm not advocating killing anybody, but what I'm saying is like the CEO, what, about a year ago, that got taken out of what was it, United Health or something like that. See, it's shit like this when you're fucking with people's family members and they can't get the care that they need just because they don't have the money or they might not have the insurance or they even have the insurance but they still deny to cover it. Yeah, that's when bad shit happens.
With readjusting to a new medication, and why should she? This medication had been working for years, but this doctor insisted that she needed to be off of this medication, and naturally my mom, looking out for her own health, just followed directions. And then for 2 months, the doctor just forgot about my mom. No follow-ups, no prescription for the new medication, nothing. Just radio silence. And during this time, my mom followed directions and stopped taking her medication. So why was this doctor trying to get my mom to take a new medication when she'd been fine for 8 years? I spoke to my next door neighbor a few days after my mom died. I went over there to break the news and try to make sense of things. And I asked him directly. He happened to be a retired naval doctor of 30 years who happened to also have cancer, and he told it to me straight. Doctors simply have financial incentives to do certain things, and to deny this is to deny human nature, and I think
100%. That's why I said I think a lot of doctors, they push a certain medication because they're getting kickbacks on it. It's all about money, man. Nobody gives a fuck about you or your life. It's all about the money.
I think therein lies a specific problem with the way we do healthcare in this country. The for-profit nature of it ruins the intimacy required between doctor and patient to get the most desirable life-saving outcome. They don't care about your well-being, they care about making the most money, and this is made obvious by something
100%.
like how astronomical the price of an MRI is. Doctors will try to tell you that an MRI is expensive because they have to pay off the machine and the person who knows how to use it, and this is only partially true. What they don't tell you is doctors essentially collude with each other to keep things really expensive. They literally just make a number up, and if other doctors in the area also agree to charge that, that essentially becomes the standardized cost. Even worse still, doctors can just decide to charge.
You know, it's fucking crazy. You know, maybe that's what... Think about any other business, right? Like you think about gas prices, doctor's bills, hospital bills. It's like they can charge whatever they want and change the price anytime they want. Name anything else where you could do that. Like if you were a car mechanic and you had your own business, like you couldn't charge one thing for like changing an alternator one day, and then like the next customer that comes in, like you charge one 100, tell the next one, oh well, this one's going to be 250. Oh, this one's going to be 400. I mean, name any other place where they can just change the price every day, like they do with gas and medical.
More based on which insurance you have. It's bullshit. It's all made up. Doctors will pull a number directly out of their assholes, and if they can get away with charging it, they will. And usually they can. There's nothing stopping them from doing this. And this line of thinking is why I don't think we're ever going to find a cure for cancer. The temptation to have a patient chronically sick and...
There is no money in cures. There just isn't. They either want to find a drug that can make you live with it, or you can fucking die for all they care.
forever profitable is just too great. The incentive to have chronically sick people rather than healthy ones with no issues is too much of a temptation. But Mika, doctors would never do that. Doctors are really smart and invested in the research that will someday cure people. We just haven't found the cure for...
They ain't trying to cure shit, just like they ain't trying to cure AIDS. They got pills now where you can live your entire life. And then pills are expensive as shit. But if you got the money to pay for them, you can live out your entire life. It keeps it at bay. You know, AIDS used to be a death sentence. I bet you they could cure it if they wanted to. They just don't want to. No money in that.
Cancer yet because we just haven't, okay? Cancer is a really complex disease and there's lots of different kinds of cancer and they all behave differently from each other. How stupid are you? They haven't found a cure for cancer because they're not looking for one. You can't sit there and tell me that an industry absolutely rotten with greed and corruption and runaway political power is actively looking for a way to destroy their own business model. It's just basic common sense. Do you know how laws get passed in this country? Lobbying by special interest groups. Not by the red guy, not by the blue guy, whoever is the best at bribing the red or the blue guy. You know which industry spends the most on lobbying? The pharmaceutical and health products industry. If researchers do find a cure, do you know how easy it is to just silence things you don't like if you have the money to do that? Remember when Monsanto covered up all of those studies?
Kind of like that COVID bullshit. You notice nobody even brings that up anymore? You know, they said, oh, if you get the COVID shot, you won't catch COVID. Well, that wasn't true. Then they're like, oh, if you get the booster, you won't catch COVID. Then how many people got the booster? You know, the amount of people I know that died from the COVID shot is ridiculous. But the ones that died are the only ones that have passed away were the people that got the 2 shot. So if they got the Pfizer or the Moderna, everybody I knew that's gotten that has passed. My grandfather, he got the Moderna. He passed. He passed like a year and a half later. My grandmother's hairdresser, she got the Pfizer, and when she got her second shot, she died 2 months later. And almost makes you wonder if it was like a campaign to just get rid of all the old people. Like, we're fucking tired of everybody on Social Security and paying out all these pensions and whatever. We need to get rid of some of these people. Kind of seems that way.
That linked Roundup directly to an increased likelihood of developing cancer. You think shit like that doesn't happen all the time in the scientific community? Trust the science! Your best chance at a cure is just not developing cancer in the first place, but that's also really hard because they keep poisoning the food supply. There are forever chemicals in the pesticides they use on the fruit. The water in Flint, Michigan is probably still flammable. This month we had, like, radioactive shrimp contaminating the seafood supply. You're just fucked. You're just fucked. Never mind. Sorry. And if I'm wrong about doctors, about this industry as a whole, okay. Then tell me in the comments right now, why is my mom dead? If they cared so much about her, if they cared about so many people's well-being, why is my mom dead? During these 2 months where my mom was left untreated, she started experiencing a very peculiar type of abdominal pain, like constipation, but much more painful. So I would end up having to take her to the emergency room a couple of times. Each time they did an abdominal CT, but nothing showed up. Doctors doing the bare minimum yet again. Something is clearly wrong, but it doesn't show up on the easiest test to perform, but they'll kick you out of the hospital and bill your insurance company anyway with no progress made.
You know, that's the crazy thing too. You go to the hospital, they're not trying to keep your ass. Like, if you're not fucking having a heart attack or a stroke, then they will kick your ass right back out. I mean, literally, you'll go in the back, they'll run a few tests. Oh, you're good. You're not dying. Off you go.
On diagnosing you. By the 4th trip my mom has taken to the ER in 1 month, she demands a PET scan this time instead of a CT scan. She's due for one anyway. She's supposed to get these routinely as per her cancer diagnosis. She finally gets a hold of her AFK oncologist and finally is able to make an appointment to see her about a month out from when the scan is actually done.
Damn.
The day of the appointment is finally here, and my mom is
And that's another thing, man. If you try to get an appointment with your doctor, like used to be, you could set up an appointment and see your doctor within like a week. Shit, now they're like months and months out. So you try to schedule in December, and you might not see your doctor till February. It's crazy.
feeling significantly worse. Her oncologist walks in and says, "What am I seeing you for today?" It says here that you need a PET scan. Yeah, you're overdue for one. You should probably go get one of those before I talk to you today. This motherfucker has not yet read the PET scan results from the PET scan that my mom got a month ago. We gently remind this fat fucking heifer that she should already have the PET scan results, so she briefly excuses herself to go get them. After a moment, she returns, and without so much as a drop of bedside manner or any remorse or admission of fault for this entire predicament, she says, "Oh, hey, yeah, you know your cancer spread, right? Yeah, it's in your kidneys and abdomen now." My mom remains steadfast.
That is so fucked. That is so fucked. Yeah, once it's spread, it's over. Man, I'd be mad too. It makes you wonder though if her mother had stayed on those two original medications that was making it shrink, the one in her breast, if she'd still be alive today. That is so fucked up.
At this news, my mom has always been this unwavering fortress of stoicism, and today was no different, and she refused to give in to despair. I, on the other hand, started sobbing immediately. The oncologist tells us that with this new metastasis, her old medication will no longer work, because that medication was made for metastasis that had only moved into the bone, and now it was in the soft tissue. This, of course, feeds into my conspiracy theory that this was all orchestrated so that my mom would have to switch medications so that her doctor could get a kickback or something, but I digress. My mom, braver
Probably,
than anybody
100%.
I've ever known, just says that's okay. There are endless possibilities. There's lots of things I haven't tried yet. There's lots of supplemental things I could do as well, like a keto diet or vitamin C drip therapies. The oncologist cuts her off with a scoff. The oncologist looks at me like she's Jim from The Fucking Office and I'm the goddamn cameraman. Ha! That stuff doesn't work. I'm all for honesty and a doctor.
Yeah, doctors just don't give a fuck. That's why I don't like doctors. That's why I don't like people. Most people don't give a fuck. Most people will stab you in the back or betray you in a microsecond.
Giving it to me straight, but what's with the ego there? Why would you say that to somebody who is just trying to find hope in a really dangerous situation? It's not like my mom said, "Oh, I'm gonna eat borax packets and drink bleach and take my panties off and point my asshole directly at the sun like they said to do on TikTok and that'll cure me." This is the issue I have with a lot of doctors. They mount this high horse thinking themselves to be these
Better than
medical
everybody.
rock stars up there with goddamn Watson and Crick, when the reality is they're just shitty HMO doctors that can't even remember what kind of cancer their patient has. I remember going home that day and just screaming and crying and hugging my mom a lot, and this was only the beginning of how bad things were about to get. But I sprang into action and I start researching every alternative.
And that's a crazy thing, and you always say to yourself, well, that'll never happen to me. That'll never happen to me until it happens. And you never, and then some people are lucky where they don't have cancer affecting their family. But I think everybody has at least one person that cancer has affected, affected their life or their family's life.
Cancer treatment in the book. I figure since my mom's got a week out before she gets her biopsy referral, it can't help to put her on maybe a really healthy diet, a keto diet even. It can't hurt to give her some medical marijuana. Every second counts, and she's got a week to go before we start discussing other treatment options, so might as well wait that week
Hey,
Try
yeah, it's
other
worth a
things
shot.
for a week. Just 1 week.
4 to 6 weeks later.
You know, it would be interesting to see if medical marijuana or if marijuana in general has any effect on cancer. Because I've seen where some people that have Parkinson's disease and they smoke medical marijuana and it calms their, like they don't shake hardly at all. I wonder what the effect is of that on cancer.
We call these people every day for 4 weeks, trying to get them to finally refer us to the hospital so she can get a biopsy, so we can figure out what kind of treatment her new metastasis will respond to. Every time we try calling the hospital, they tell us that
No, once it spreads, they don't even try anymore. I mean, they did the same thing to my uncle, man. He had lung cancer and but his was different. His very quickly went to his brain. I can't remember what other organ, but it went to two other places. It went to his brain, and I want to say his liver or kidneys. But yeah, once it metastasizes and starts spreading, they give up hope. They're like, you're fucked.
oncologist's office has made some sort of clerical error, or they forgot a chunk of insurance information, or they still hadn't fixed a clerical error from 2 clerical errors ago. Let's talk about the worst people alive. Receptionists, bureaucrats, the people who have the easiest job in the world. All they're responsible for doing is taking data and entering it into a system, and they still manage to fuck that up. Remember that video I made about AI and how it's going to
100%.
take all the art jobs, and it's actually going to take every job, and then everybody is going to be jobless, and it's going to be a real bad time?
You know, AI would probably be able to do that job better. I'm all for, if I'm for AI taking over any job, it would definitely be for medical assistants. Yeah, take their fucking job.
I take it back. AI can have the receptionists. Loosely related, but I
Yeah,
also
see, there
think
you
we
go.
should bring back public execution. Here's a reenactment of my own experience dealing with these kinds of people and trying to get old medical history documents transferred over to my new doctor. Hey, I'm a former patient there, and I'm just trying to get some mammogram results from 2 years ago forwarded to my new doctor because I moved. Yeah, so we don't have those. We migrated to a new system. So we still haven't updated everything, so you're gonna have to like figure out what radiologist you went through
That's all fucking retarded.
and call them, and then maybe then you can like get those results directly from those people. Okay? Oh, okay, thanks. Hey, I'm a former patient there, I think. I'm just trying to get some mammogram results from like 2 years ago so they can be forwarded to my new doctor. I think this is the place where I got the scans done.
Oh yeah, we do mammograms here.
Yeah. Yeah, so can I have the results?
Yeah, she does them. I like her impression, man. That's perfect. Yeah, most of the receptionists, they think they're. I don't know, man. For some reason, it seems like the nurses, the receptionists, and don't ever fucking date a nurse, y'all. Nurses cheat with doctors all the time, dude. It's crazy. But yeah, nurses, receptionists, and doctors, man, they all seem like they're above everybody.
Results sent over to my new doctor, please?
Oh, so you like already had the scan done?
Yeah.
Oh my god, girly, of course. What's your doctor's name so I can find him in the system?
Well, he wouldn't be in your system because I've moved and I have a different health insurance plan now, but here's his address.
Okay, awesome. Let me just write out that email for you.
15 minutes later.
Hey, are you like good?
Yeah, it's just like I couldn't find your doctor in our system, so I'm just not sure how to email him.
Yeah, I said he's not going to be in your system because I have a different health insurance plan. He's a
Yeah,
doctor
bitch.
at Kaiser. Do you want his email address again?
Oh, okay, why didn't you say so? Okay. Your email will be processed and sent out in between 2 and 24 hours.
2 and 24 hours to send an email? What? You know
Yeah,
what?
what the hell?
It's never mind. That's fine. Whatever works. Thanks.
Days later.
Hey, yeah, so I called about 36 hours ago. I was trying to get some mammogram results forwarded to my new doctor, and he hasn't received them yet. I'm just trying to see what's going on.
Oh, so like we don't send emails. We only do fax. What's your doctor's
We only
fax
do
number?
fax.
These are the people that are going to kill you. When you're old and enfeebled or chronically ill, all it takes is one dumbass to take too long sending over some lab results or a referral request, and that's it. Time's up. So here's what happens at my
Yeah.
mom's oncologist's office. After 4 weeks, I tell my mom, yo, we need to go to these people in person, because as long as we're willing to remain civil on the phone, they're willing to continue fucking us around. So I
For
drive
real,
us up
100%.
to the office, and I'm absolutely livid at this point. I had every intention to
What's up, Night
yell at
Shirt
these
Don?
people and chew them out for fucking up something as simple as processing some insurance information and sending a referral over to a hospital, something that you'd think these people would be doing every day. However, this was different. My mom's life was on the line. So I go to the front desk with my fists clenched and my voice raised, but I'm not yelling, I'm crying. I'm cursing for sure, but mostly what I'm saying between sobs is, what the fuck are you guys doing? This is cancer, not a common cold. You guys need to stop fucking around and send the referral over. You're going to kill my mom at this rate. I'm not leaving until I have that damn referral. The fat bitch at the front desk starts sorting through my mom's files while another sympathetic doctor comes from the back and starts helping her out. Then another, even fatter bitch
Damn.
appears from the back.
Even fatter. An even fatter bitch.
We have a
Damn.
zero tolerance policy against people raising their voices here. You need to apologize right now.
And I say, no,
What the fuck? Do your goddamn job. Kill yourself, you stupid bitch. I hope your mom dies from cancer.
medical professionals, everybody. After I throw
Yeah,
their
for real.
computer monitor and break their telephone and get escorted out by security, my mom and I decide that she needs a new oncologist. Her oncologist wasn't even in the office that day, by the way. I truly think these
Damn.
people need to be replaced by robots, every single goddamn one of them.
Yeah, they all need to be fired. Get rid of them. I'm with her. I bet you AI would make better receptionists, nurses, and doctors, for that matter. Shit, I think the Tesla robots would probably do better.
AI is dumb as hell, but people working the front desks at doctors' offices are literally disabled. The average IQ can't be above 50. My dog's smarter than that. A robot's definitely smarter than that. And a robot's not gonna get mad at me for being upset over my mom's impending death. So here begins what will be the most arduous 6 months of my life. My dad starts trying to help my mom look for a new oncologist while I step caregiving into overdrive. I have to start doing more in the interim because now we're officially up shit creek without a paddle. I cook every meal
Yeah.
for my mother. I get all sorts of supplements from the store. I get her those vitamin C drip treatments. I ask people on my Instagram story for their weirdest schizo Joe Rogan podcast, alternative cancer treatment, and a lot of you guys suggested ivermectin, so I thought, you know what, fuck it. I ain't got nothing left to lose. So you can save me your lecture
try it.
on choosing alternative medications instead of going for scientifically backed strategies. There was no scientifically backed strategies because we didn't have access to a fucking doctor. So it was either try all of this stuff or sit and do nothing. Another month passed.
Yeah, you can't rely on the doctors, man. And the doctors, they don't know what you're feeling. You know, that's the thing. And they like to dismiss your symptoms. Like, oh, I'm having chest pain. They're like, oh, it could be heartburn. Really? What if it's not? I mean, they don't care, dude. That's why I said, man, in this world, it's every man for himself. Nobody gives a fuck about you, your family, your kids. They just don't.
passes and my dad is finally able to find a new oncologist. We open the new intake paperwork that has arrived in the mail. We take a look at the oncologist's name. It's the same fucking oncologist, but in a different office across town. They gave us the same bitch twice. Another month passes and my mom starts to become more and more symptomatic. Her stomach hurts more and more. She's nauseous all the time. She drops like 30 pounds. I'd never seen my mom.
Yeah, once they start losing weight rapidly and they get to where they just quit eating, you know the end is coming. That's what happened to my grandfather. My grandfather had pulmonary fibrosis, and he just got to where he was eating less and eating less, and he went from being like 240 pounds down to 85. When he passed away, because he passed away right here in my home, because he was in home hospice, he looked like a skeleton, like literally. And he was 85 pounds when he passed away. That was crazy.
Look so thin and frail before. My whole life, I always looked to my mom as not just a pillar of mental strength, but as physical strength. She stood tall. Even as an adult, I never grew to be taller than her. My mom was built like a brick shithouse, an Amazonian goddess, something that you might see in the mythos of a long-forgotten empire. And now she sat before me, thin and frail and helpless. I'd feel the bones in her back when I hugged her, and I could see the vertebra on her spine begin to poke out from her neck. Another month passes.
Yeah, same with my grandfather, man. You see like his rib cage all sunk in. It was almost like you could even see his organs. Like, I mean, he was just literally that thin. I mean, imagine a 6-foot dude being 85 pounds.
Finally get matched up with another oncologist.
I mean, shit, the 11-year-old I got weighs 100, and she's only 5'4". So imagine what a 6-foot, 85-pound dude would look like, man. I mean, he looked like a fucking skeleton.
We check the name. It's the same person. Her insurance company once again gives us the same goddamn doctor, despite how much we complained about her gross incompetence and the complete insanity of her staff. We decided to change my mom's insurance altogether to a more pricier option, since Medicare simply does not give a shit. We hope that the extra money we spend is going to result in the life-saving treatment that my mom needs. Spoiler, it doesn't. The process of changing my mom's insurance takes another month. In that time, my mom becomes so emaciated and skinny that the muscles in her legs atrophy and she loses her ability to walk. I start having to take my mom to the hospital every 2 weeks or so. Her stomach starts filling up with fluid. I take her to a better hospital that's a little bit further away, but it's a university hospital, so the doctors are still young enough to kind of give a shit. Her stomach keeps filling up with fluid and it needs to be drained, but this time it's different. Some scans are done at the hospital because her pain is so severe. The doctors ask her what her treatment plan is. I tell them she doesn't have one. I tell them all about her last oncologist, and they are just as baffled as I am at the callousness of these people. Scan results come in. One of my mom's kidneys has gone partially necrotic and needs to have a stent put in. A nephrostomy tube now permanently dangled from my mom's body, and it was heartbreaking to see in a way that I can't even properly describe. She was recommended to be put on hospice. Now, I knew hospice was for people that were terminally ill, but what I didn't know was that to remain on hospice, you are meant to throw in the towel entirely. When we signed up for hospice, I thought
Yep, you throw in the towel entirely. All they do, that's what they did with my grandfather. You know, once you say you're going to hospice, that's it. They don't give you no treatment. The only thing they give you is anxiety medication and morphine. That's it. And I think they slowly just kill you because they just up the morphine dosage, and they just keep upping it until eventually they just go out.
I'd finally be able to catch a break. I'd become my mom's 24-hour caregiver, and I was totally exhausted. I was up every day at 5 a.m. My mom could no longer walk I had to do everything. She couldn't bathe herself, she couldn't change herself, she couldn't feed herself. I had to be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Starting at 5 a.m., I was not sleeping, I was not okay. It became like having a baby, but a baby that doesn't grow up, and a baby that doesn't laugh or giggle, just a very sad baby that exists, and she's too heavy to pick up and comfort, and you can't even say anything to tell her not to be afraid. You can't tell her not to worry. You can't tell her everything is going to be okay, because she already knows that it isn't going to be. I remember the last time my mom was able to go up the stairs. She couldn't do it completely unassisted. My dad had to support her waist and hold her hand, and since my parents had been divorced my entire conscious life, it was like getting to see them dance for the first time. So the hospice center said they'd be coming to help me feed and clean her. They were offering physical therapy services so that she could potentially get her strength back up so she could walk again. They were offering counseling services to improve her mood and her outlook. I thought all of this was to help my mom keep fighting. It wasn't.
No, hospice is you're throwing in the towel. It's over. It's over. And I didn't know that either with my grandfather until it happened. So when they try to push hospice on you, if you're not ready to give up, don't go to hospice. Because hospice, they can say what they want to. They say it's trying to help with the pain and the comfort. No, they're there to basically like euthanize you. That's what they're there to do. Like when my grandfather was there, was it here when I was taking care of him? He when he got to home hospice, they put him on morphine, Ativan, and morphine. And the morphine, they would just tell me, up the dose, up the dose. So eventually, I gave him a dose, and then it was like it was like he wasn't there anymore. Like he was just fucking. He was breathing, but he wasn't there. He was just staring at the ceiling. You know, it's crazy. So yeah, don't go to hospice unless you're just really fucking. Unless you're done, don't go to hospice. What's up, Christy?
The second we opted to take my mom to the hospital again to have the fluid drained from her stomach because the pressure building up was too painful, we got a call from her insurance company. Before we could even have our first hospice appointment, it'd been canceled. When you get on hospice,
What?
that's it. You're just expected to die. I guess they were just waiting around for my
Yeah, they see that's what they don't tell you. I was very naive to hospice, especially with my grandfather. When he went into hospice, I thought that was a good thing. No, you don't want to do it unless you're ready to give up. That's it. No, it's all good. It's all good, Chrissy. We can't all be everywhere at the same time, man. We all got lives and different shit and kids and can't be everywhere at the same time, man.
mom's stomach to fill up with so much fluid that it exploded and killed her slowly and painfully. You're not allowed to
Damn.
receive comfort care while you're fighting for your life. Your insurance doesn't pay for that. You can pick one or the other. The way our current system works isn't even baffling to me anymore. Of course it works like this. The fascination with profit over people is what America has been about for decades now. People with
Doctors in the healthcare system don't give a fuck about you, your healthcare, your well-being, your kids. They don't give a shit. It's all about money. Period.
debilitating illnesses are constantly fighting their insurance companies just to stay alive here, and then they'll go ahead and rug pull you. You can go into the emergency room for a freak accident thinking you're covered because you have to scrounge around for $1,500 a month to pay your insurance company, just for your insurance company to say, whoops, we're not paying for that, good luck though, and then they send you home with a bill, and it's totally legal for them to do that. With the introduction of the Affordable Care Act, health insurance companies are required by law to always disclose why they might be denying somebody's claim. But nobody ever enforces that law. Deny, delay, defend. That's the
No, just because it's a law don't mean they enforce it. That's for damn sure. Yeah, they don't enforce that shit.
actual strategy that these insurance companies employ in order to avoid paying for your medical care. If you deny a request, the claimant is less likely to request a review of that denial. And if you keep issuing more and more reviews, the claimant is likely to just abandon the endeavor altogether. And of course they don't care if the patient is slowly dying or deteriorating. Why would they? All they care about is saving money. I wonder how listening to this
Saving money
story
and making
feels to
money.
somebody who's not from the United States. I have a lot of international viewers, so if you're from somewhere else, feel free to tell me in the comments how confusing this story was. After all of this, my mom finally is able to have her insurance switched over, and we find a new oncologist who actually has decent bedside manner this time. He doesn't even try to condemn us for trying out
Like, I can understand her trying to save her mom, but you know, once cancer metastasizes and spreads to different organs, it's done. It's over. But I mean, I get it. And the thing is her mom probably wouldn't have got that bad to begin with if when she had the first lump, when they scanned her breasts, if they would have just done their fucking job. You know, her mom might still actually be alive today.
alternative treatments while we were waiting for multiple insurance companies to stop fucking us around. But it takes another 12 days for my mom to get her cancer biopsied and examined and approved for a new type of medication called Faslodex. And between Faslodex injection appointments thereafter, my mom gets weaker and weaker. It was becoming more and more apparent that it was too late. Mom was hospitalized for sepsis. We didn't know she had sepsis. They didn't tell us she had sepsis. They didn't tell her she had sepsis. We only found out after she'd been discharged. She couldn't eat more than a few bites of watermelon here or there, or a few.
See, that reminds me, that's like when my mother had her knee surgery. You know, after her surgery, you would have thought that the doctor would have came and said something. Doctor didn't come and say shit. The only reason the doctor came is because I was pissed. You know, they were fixing to discharge her, and like, we're like, well, you know, what the fuck did they do? You know, we would like to know something. So yeah, man, I laid into the nurse, dude. I told the nurse, I said, we ain't fucking moving anywhere till we talk to this, you know, fucking doctor. I didn't like her doctor to begin with.
Sips of juice at a time, and she couldn't stop throwing up and she couldn't stop salivating. No one would tell us why, no matter how many times we asked. No tests were done until we bitched enough and they finally scheduled her for an endoscopy appointment to see what was going on with her throat, and a follow-up about the lack of care for her nausea. I went to see her in the hospital the day before, and this would be the last time I ever saw my mom coherent again. Was her same silly self. She complained about how loudly the equipment.
You know, and that's the crazy thing, is when somebody goes, especially if they're in hospice, it's really, really weird. Because like I said, when I had my grandfather in hospice here at home hospice where I'm at, you know, basically what they do is they give them morphine and then they just keep upping the dosage of the morphine. You know, they'll tell you, give them, you know, this much, then double it the next day. And basically what they're doing, they're just doubling it till eventually, because what morphine does is it slows the breathing and they just fucking go out. But I knew my grandfather, like my grandfather, he had pulmonary fibrosis. I knew he was going to die anyways. But it's just fucking weird because you give them morphine and they'll be sitting there talking to you. They're still coherent. And then you'll know when they're gone. because they'll just be looking. I remember he was just looking straight up at the ceiling, and I was talking to him. I was like, "Hey, Grandpa," and I kept hitting him, and he was breathing, but he wasn't there. Like you could tell he was already gone. He had already checked out, and he was just staring. And I'm like, I even leaned over him. I'm like looking in his eyes, and it just looks like he's looking through me. Like he wasn't even. He was breathing, but he was gone. And he actually stayed that way for 2 days. And then eventually his breathing just got so slow. Like he was taking a breath. He got down to the point because I was counting it because I already knew he was fixing to go. But he was taking a breath like about every 2 minutes. I mean, think about sitting there that long before you took a breath. And then eventually he just went down one time and that was it. It's crazy. So yeah, don't do hospice because when you go to hospice, basically you're throwing in the towel. You're saying, I give up, I'm done.
In her room beeped, and she complained about how long it took nurses to come around and changed her when she soiled herself. So I changed her. A hospital full of nurses gossiping and eating vending machine M&Ms and not making themselves particularly busy. And I was the one that had to change her like I had many times at home before. I brought her some grated ginger in a feeble attempt to do something about her nausea. We laughed and joked for a little bit. I gave her a big hug, and then she told me to go home and that she'd see me in a couple of days. I don't know what happened during that endoscopy, but she wasn't the same after that. We never got the results. We never got an answer as to why her throat was burning and full of so much spit, or why she was throwing up constantly. We never got any additional medication to fix her nausea problem. This time she came home with an oxygen machine. Her speech was slurred and
Yeah, my dad was in hospice. My mom forgot to pay the bill by one day and they automatically put a lien on the house. Yeah, it's all about money, man. They don't give a fuck. That's why I don't like nurses. I don't like doctors. I don't even like the fucking, a lot of the, even the secretaries, the front office ladies. A lot of them are bitches too, man. I don't like any of them. They just act like most of them act like I'm not gonna say they're all that way, but everyone that I've ever interacted with always acts like they're smarter and they're better than everybody for some reason.
she didn't want to talk anymore. She just wanted to sleep. Gone was the woman that could entertain a whole room by laughing the loudest and talking the most and cracking the funniest one-liners. This was the last picture I ever took of my mom.
Damn.
She was asleep and sick.
She looked nothing like the pictures we seen of her earlier. That was like my grandfather, man. My grandfather, he was 240 pounds, and when he passed, he was 85 pounds. He looked like a fucking skeleton, dude.
And so skinny, but I thought she looked so beautiful anyway. On September 15th, 2025, my mom's breathing became labored. The oxygen machine wasn't working, and she started to refuse food entirely. None of it would stay down.
And that's when you know the end is near. When they stop eating, stop drinking, if they do it for like one day or a couple days, that's fine. But when you get to day 3, day 4, and they're still not eating and drinking, you know it's over. You know the end is coming.
She stopped being able to talk, and she screamed in pain with every breath that she took. I gave in to everything, and I signed her up for hospice again. A nurse arrived within hours and gave her some morphine, and when it took effect, she finally stopped screaming, but she was no longer responsive. She was alive.
Yep. The morphine, honestly, I think hospice is like basically like euthanasia, is basically what it is. They give you morphine to start. They'll start with a low dose, and then they just keep upping the dose. So basically, and if you're doing home hospice, basically they're just having you kill your own family member. That's what they're doing. That's basically what they had me do with my grandfather. They were like, give him this dose. Then a few days later, they're like, up the dose, then up the dose until, one day you just give them the dose. And like I said, they're just staring at the ceiling. They're not even there.
Alive, and she was breathing, but she was unresponsive and she couldn't blink. The nurse told me she could still hear me, though. That the hearing was the last part to go. So I just laid in bed with her for hours, and I told her how proud I was of her for fighting so hard, and I told her how much I loved her. And I told her she didn't need to worry about me and that I'd be okay, and she didn't have to suffer anymore for me. She could just go when she was ready. My mom, my treasure, my soulmate. I loved her so much. I played Luciano Pavarotti for her, and I just laid next to her for hours and I cried. On the morning of September 16th,
Yeah, I'm the same way. If I go, I don't want to feel anything. What would be the perfect way to go for me would just to be to die in my sleep. Just go in my sleep. I don't want it to be painful. Like I don't want to get in a car crash and I've done like broke both my legs, shattered my ribs, and I'm still alive and like fuck that. No, I want to go quick. If I'm going, I want to go quick. Shoot me in the head. Do something. I just want to go quick.
2025, my mother took her last breath and she was dead. I was her live-in nurse 24 hours a day for 6 months, and she still died. I loved her more than anybody else ever did, and I couldn't save her. Every doctor and insurance bureaucrat along the way failed her.
And then they wonder why CEOs of these health insurance companies are getting fucking killed. Then they wonder why. Like what was that one CEO I think of United Healthcare got killed like a year ago? Because they're fucking with people's families, denying them care. You're paying a shit ton of money every month for health insurance, and they don't want to cover shit.
I feel like I can only blame myself for not being enough. It feels easier to say that it's my fault because the alternative is realizing that if you get sick in this country, you're just fucked.
100%.
The institutions we have, they will dick.
Think about how bad it is that if anybody gets sick, like I tell people around me all the time, like I tell my mother and my grandmother, knock on wood, she's still with us, she's 82. But, I tell my mother, if I ever get in a really bad situation, I'll have her come get me and take me to the hospital because I'm not going to pay that ambulance ride bill. I'm not going to fucking do it. And a lot of people are like that, man. Think about how crazy that is. That people are just like, I don't give a shit how bad I am. Don't call 911. Shit, I'll call an Uber if that's what I got to do. I don't give a fuck if I'm having a heart attack. Yeah, if I'm having a heart attack, fuck that. I'm calling an Uber. Somebody can come get me or I'm getting an Uber. Or I'm just gonna fucking die. Because I'm not gonna pay yeah, like Chrissy said, that $1,700 bill. No thank you.
You over without giving it a second thought, and they don't give a shit about you. So it's easier to just say that it's my fault than to acknowledge the truth. If you live in America, This is your parents' future. This is your future. It's not an if, it's a when.
Yep.
I don't even know what the solution to any of this is. If we had a single-payer healthcare system like they do in Europe,
Now, see, like the thing with my grandfather had pulmonary fibrosis. You know something I wish that the doc see, that's the thing, I actually wish the doctors would have just been straightforward with me to begin with, and to my mother and the rest of my family. You know, I didn't realize, pulmonary fibrosis is actually worse than having cancer because there is no cure for pulmonary fibrosis. They have no treatment for it at all. But I didn't know that. They had this experimental drug that they put them on. And I was like, okay, well, I didn't think it was that big of a deal because they didn't make it seem like a big deal. But then it was like 2 years later when he started losing weight, quit eating, his breathing was getting worse. He got on oxygen. And I'm like, okay, something's bad and wrong here. But the doctors never made it seem like, and then when I looked into it, I was like, well, shit, pulmonary fibrosis is worse than a cancer diagnosis. Because at least with cancer, you got certain treatments you can try. For pulmonary fibrosis, they ain't got shit. They have nothing. And I was like, oh shit. Then that's when I told my mom, I was like, he's gonna pass. I don't know when, but I wish the doctors would have just been straight up with us to begin with, like, hey, there is no cure. They put him on this experimental drug which was like 20,000 a month. But luckily, because it was an experimental drug, they gave him the drug for free. So he got to try it out. Didn't work for him. That's for damn sure.
the medical industry oligarchs would just lobby against the fixed medical care prices until they were expensive again. And I don't even know what legislature could be put into place to prevent egomaniacs and morons from getting medical licenses. It's erroneous to put your faith into these people at all.
Yeah.
It's stupid to just wait and hope that things change. I know that's very bleak and doomer-pilled, but it's the truth. The best you can do is take really good care of your body and hope that it doesn't break down on you or maybe move to a different country. I wish I could end this video on a happy note. I wish I could tell you that I personally had ideas about healthcare reform. I wish I could tell you that I was like running for fucking president or something. And
No, the healthcare system has always been fucked and it will always be fucked. If they wanted to fix it, they've had they've had over 50 years to fix it. They don't want to fix it. They like it the way it is because it keeps most Americans bankrupt and broke and it keeps them rich. It's just simple truth, man. It's all about money.
that I was gonna save America, but I don't have anything like that. I just have my mom's story to tell you, and I hope that you listened. It's strange. I see a lot of politically motivated people out there protesting for a laundry list of reasons, but I never see anybody protesting about how bad healthcare is. At least it's not something that gets media coverage. I know I'm not the only person with a story
No, you don't
like
see
this
that shit in the
either,
media anywhere.
and I'm wondering what we can do about it. Can we do anything about it? Seriously, what am I supposed to do? Am I like supposed to start an organization or something? Should I cyberbully politicians on Twitter? What am I supposed to do about any of this? I don't want to see any more people die like this.
Yeah.
I'm sorry
for
this was
real.
such a heavy video, but it's something that I really needed to get off of my chest. It took me 2 months to find grief counseling. I actually had signed up for a therapist, and when I went to her appointment,
No, don't go to therapists. Don't do the therapy thing. No. I think that therapy thing is bullshit, dude. All of it's bullshit. That person sitting across from you has no idea what you've been through in life. Has no fucking idea. They haven't been there. They don't know. So why are you going to take advice from a stranger that hasn't walked with you through your life? They have no idea what you've been through, what you've experienced. Kind of like these marriage counseling. I tell people all the time, if you're married and y'all are talking about going to marriage counseling, it's done. It's over. It's already over. If you get to the point where you're talking about going to a therapist or a marriage counselor, it's done.
Appointment. She kept getting notifications on her phone every time I would speak and tell her about how I got here. And then it looked like she was reading off of her phone, so I believe she was using ChatGPT to give me therapy. So yeah, that's more of another
Shit, I don't mean to laugh, but that's hilarious. She probably was Chabby GPT. Damn.
experience I've had in the healthcare industry. That's how much they give a shit about your mental health, by the way. I didn't want to look very hard for a sponsor for this video either. I didn't want to like have to cut myself off in the middle of this ordeal to tell you about like the latest and greatest boner pills or the world's softest mattress or whatever the fuck. So if you liked the video, just send it to somebody else. Send it to your grandma so she knows how she's gonna die. I don't know. Next video is probably gonna be
Damn.
more traditionally fun. So until next time, bye-bye.
Man, I feel bad for her, dude. I feel bad for her because her freaking... You know, her mom had it started out as a little lump. Just a little itty bitty lump. And they misdiagnosed her until it got bigger. And it makes you wonder if they'd caught it early, would her mother still be alive today? That's fucking crazy. I want to check this video out real quick because somebody sent this to me. It's really, really short, but somebody said I need to check it out. I have no idea why. Oh, shit.
You have two options. You end stream and we discuss this, or I leave. Which one?
What do you think, chat?
Chat? You have two
Yo.
options. You end stream and we discuss this, or I leave. Which one?
What do you think, chat?
Oh, shit.
Chat?
Oh, my gosh. I bet you that pissed her off, didn't it? Either you end stream or I'm gonna leave. What do you think, chat? Jesus Christ. I'd probably, I would have done the same thing. It's funny watching XQC reacted to that too. He got the same reaction I
You have two
had.
options. You end stream and we discuss this, or I leave. Which one?
What do you think, chat?
Chat?
I love that. That's hilarious. All right, guys. Now I've seen some of the Johnny. Like I'm super late to the fucking party. Okay, I get it. I've seen like bits and pieces of the Johnny Depp trial. I haven't seen like the whole thing though, and some of that shit is just fucking hilarious. So I found a video that I think's got like most of the good parts, I guess. But I want to check it out, man, because I've seen bits and pieces of it, but I've never actually taken the time to go through the whole thing. So let's check it out.
Aquaman.
It's just,
Oh, was he holding the finger up? Really?
why do you deviate from our agreement? It's not about her doing films. How do you think she got Aquaman, sir?
You heard Miss Heard say, "Get off me," right?
No, I did not.
This wasn't the first time that you talked about
No, I
Amber
didn't.
hitting the wall hard. Let's pull up Exhibit 213, please.
Oh, yeah, Amber's hitting the wall hard. Is Amber hitting the wall? What do y'all say? What y'all think? Is Amber Heard hitting the wall?
Hitting the wall hard based on the
We'll just take a look at the
accusations
next
that she
exhibit, Mr.
brought. I'm sorry, I was talking. Is that all right?
You had answered my question. We'll take a look at the next.
He's like, shut up, bitch, I'm talking.
Oh, as long as you're happy, sir.
I felt this pressure.
She is the biggest fucking fake I think I've ever seen. Like, even when like, the few clips that I have seen of her, like, even when she's crying, the shit just looks. My dog got stung by a bee. My teacher gave me a C. My husband gave me the D. Oh my gosh. Holy shit. My dog got stung by a bee. My teacher gave me a C. My husband gave me the D. Oh my gosh. Oh no, Chrissy, I don't need to know what you and your husband are doing, man. You don't have to get stung by a bee. Oh shit. But she is the biggest fucking fake I think I've ever seen, dude. She said she said that? Amber said that in court. She said my dog got stung by a bee. What? They kept making memes out of it. Oh wow. I don't know, man. She just seems so fake. It's unreal. Like, I can understand why she's not in very many movies.
He thought he was punching me.
Sean Bailey, who was the number 3.
Objection, hearsay.
I don't know yet. I'll overrule it at this point.
May I continue, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
He's like, can I finish talking? Jesus Christ! Like, this dude keeps interrupting me.
Basically said in the
Objection, hearsay.
Your
What
Honor,
Sean Bailey said.
this is about him
It's in
learning
an
about this.
article.
It's not for the.
saying that
Objection, hearsay.
What
Last
hearsay?
week, Mr. Rottenborn asked you about a quote where you said you wouldn't come back to the Pirates franchise for $300 million and a million alpacas. Do you remember that?
I do.
Okay, I'm gonna be greedy here. I'd come back to the Pirates franchise for 300 million. I'll even take the million alpacas. Hell yeah, I'd come back.
What? When relative to.
That's correct. We don't have cameras in the video.
Who the fuck is this guy?
We don't have cameras at the hallway. We don't have cameras on the hallway.
She brought up the situation of her fecal
He's like, don't say shit. Oh, damn.
matter on the bed, and I and she tried to blame it on the dogs. That's what the opiate does. The dopamine and serotonin, as you know, I imagine, are things.
he's telling us, he's like, did he just insinuate that the lawyer would know what dopamine and serotonin? Was he insinuating that the lawyer's on drugs?
That keep us it gives us our moods. It gives us.
I appreciate that, but my question wasn't that. My question was,
I'm just trying
right
to
after
school
you told
you.
Oh, tried to school you.
The was May.
You didn't know what could cause damage to Mr. Depp's hand while you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
Wait a minute.
The time that you.
Whoa, time out. Did he just object to his own question? Did I hear that correctly? Hold on. We gotta go back.
While you were there on March 8th, correct?
Dr. Kipper told me he'd sustained an injury on one of his fingers.
Objection, hearsay.
What?
The time that you did move in with him.
What kind of lawyers has she got? Holy shit.
Objection leading. I'm going to object on hearsay.
My co-star.
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay. Objection, hearsay.
It was fine.
Objection,
that it was
hearsay.
with Paul
Objection,
Bettany.
hearsay.
You said.
Objection, hearsay. Objection leading.
Or on the street. You need to
Objection,
move it.
hearsay.
Hey, we need whoever his lawyer was. That's who if I could afford her, that's who I would have representing me, dude. Like, out of the clips that I've seen, like, she was fucking destroying. I mean, she was just wrecking him.
That calls for hearsay, Your Honor.
Assuming the plan was to...
Objection, Your Honor, hearsay. Objection, form, compound.
Did you have any discussions with Miss Heard on the way to Coachella that evening?
We had a conversation pertaining to the surprise she left in the boss's bed.
And when you refer to the surprise in the boss's bed, what are you referring to?
The defecation.
A few things about Coachella, and then the fecal delivery, saying that it was the dog.
Fecal delivery? Is that when she shit on his bed? Oh my gosh. I couldn't even believe she did that, man. I mean, yeah, I think that's all I could do would be laugh. If I came home and seen that, I'd be like, are you fucking kidding me?
And I could not agree with her. It was not the dogs.
But in fact, you don't recall seeing Amber Heard on May 24th, correct?
I don't remember. I don't even remember what I got for breakfast.
Insider from 2015 that says Johnny Depp has his 5th box office bomb in a row.
If that's what it said, it said. Are you just going to keep reading this?
Well, I mean, and you would agree that before the op-ed, there was negative publicity for Mr. Depp about assassinating President Trump. Would you?
Man, look at this dude. Even this dude's like, man, this lawyer's a fucking joke. He's like, yeah, okay, keep asking me stupid questions.
Agree?
No, I missed that one. I don't particularly remember that. I have a lot of stuff in front of me.
Acts like she's scared of him. Are you fucking kidding me? Man, fucking victim bullshit.
Did it mention Mr. Depp? That's what I asked you.
Well, does she have another husband who abused her?
But did it talk about it? Did it talk?
Mr. Drew, who was a chef, which I don't believe is hearsay.
Even the judge is like, this is fucking crazy. Absolutely done with this case. Yeah. look at her. She's just like, oh, I don't. She's like, this is a shit show.
I've just never seen driving that. Yeah, that did it.
Why are you here? I am here because my ex-husband...
Woman. Let me translate. She's there to cash out, or thought she was going to cash out on prizes and money, and the joke was on her. I mean, she'd been planning this shit for months. She had to have been. I mean, otherwise, why would she have been recording him and shit? You know, I mean, she was recording their video in, recording their arguments. And when I listened to some of them and some of the other clips, it sounded like she was trying to start him intentionally and trying to get him to do something like hit her or whatever, which I don't believe he ever did. Now, he may have like grabbed her and, I don't know, maybe sat her down real hard or something. I don't know. I don't think he hit her, though.
Is suing me for an op-ed I wrote. And how do you feel about that?
Yeah, bitch. How do you feel about being sued? You're suing Johnny. How do you feel about it?
I struggle to have the words. I struggle to find the words to describe how painful this is.
Yeah, it's painful when you're being sued, but it ain't painful when you're the one suing, right? Well, you can tell she's a blonde. You can tell.
This is horrible for me to sit here for weeks.
Do you remember the first time that he physically...
No, you know, he doesn't even seem like a violent dude. Like, sure, maybe he gets drunk, but he just doesn't seem like a violent dude. And if he's got exes that are coming out and said that he was good, then yeah. Yeah, fuck her. She just thought she was gonna cash out. And the joke was on her.
hit you?
Yes.
Please tell the jury about it.
was so.
I don't know what to fucking say because I'm lying. I'm lying, so I don't know what to say.
Seemingly so stupid, so insignificant. Continued to drink and then eventually started howling like an animal.
Just, I mean, there's part of it that the noise of the airport.
Passed out in a chair during daylight hours.
Again, isn't passed out, that's a very specific term. Sleep could be one.
You're complaining about her ambition.
He's like passed out. He's like, yeah, I could have been sleeping. I mean, come on, man. I could have been in a coma. Who knows?
In this text to her, to Dr. Kipper, correct?
I'm realizing that her ambition is far stronger than her supposed feelings for me, yes.
And you tell Dr. Kipper, I cut the top of my middle finger off in this text, correct?
It's just the way it was worded. It doesn't mean that I actually literally cut my finger off after.
They're trying to say he actually cut his finger off? What the hell?
At the age of 12, finding the only thing that gave me peace, which is playing the guitar. Very unlikely. Why didn't I start lopping off digits when I was 13 then?
Just the way it was worded. Now, Mr. Heard.
Did you provide a copy of this pamphlet to Amber Heard?
I did not. I did not identify her as a victim of domestic violence.
Oh. Oh, did not identify her as a victim of domestic violence. Uh-oh.
The sole reason why you did not give that to Amber Heard?
Yes, we want to give them to victims of domestic violence.
I'm going to ask you to take a...
At this point, Your Honor, Ms. Heard's counsel is asking to move into evidence and publish to the jury.
About 9 years.
Was he sleeping? He looked like he was sleeping there.
Isn't it true that while he was on the mezzanine level and Miss Heard and her sister were there, that he was reaching for Amber's hair while he was trying to hit her with that cast, correct?
That is not correct.
And it's possible that she was standing in between Mr. Depp and Miss Heard then, correct?
No.
Well, in fact, you saw Mr. Depp push or shove.
Why is he trying to put words into the dude's mouth? Like, the dude's not saying this. Like, the lawyer's, like, trying to make it sound like he said something he ain't even saying.
Whitney Heard, correct?
Absolutely not.
And it was only after Mr. Depp pushed Whitney that Amber stepped forward and punched him in the face. Isn't that right?
No.
That is not correct.
Really, I didn't understand why they want me to do that. Like, oh, I don't know.
Do you have a drinking problem, Johnny?
Objection calls for hearsay.
What the fuck?
Saying what the doctors told him.
I think that's what's about to be testified to.
Oh.
Let me ask you a different question, Mr. Depp.
Yes. Let's let him object to another one.
Right?
Miss Heard could very easily drink 2 bottles of wine per night. Not a speak.
She's like, oh, no, not me. Not me. I don't drink. What are you talking about? I'm innocent. I don't drink.
If you will. Cold. I don't know if I can say the name. Am I allowed to say the name?
At the beginning of
I don't know. It might be hearsay.
her opening, Miss Heard's counsel mentioned that the first time you supposedly struck Miss Heard was in response to a comment about one of your tattoos.
Yes, I remember.
And what is your response to that?
It didn't happen. I've never struck Miss Heard. As I said yesterday, I've never struck Miss Heard. I've never struck a woman in my life.
Would you agree that if you did not find something that would be in favor of Mr. Depp and a negative to Ms. Heard, that you wouldn't be an expert in this case. They're not going to bring you into court if you're going to say that Ms. Heard is right and Mr. Depp is wrong, correct?
So as a forensic psychologist, my obligation is to the court, is to the fact finder.
She's like, my obligation is to the court. It's not my obligation is not to you, bitch.
Present science regardless of what that science may be. Now, when I take a case, my retainer agreement is explicit about that, and I discuss that with the attorneys.
I'm asking you a question. I'd like you to try to answer
Okay.
my question. You understand that if you found favorably to Ms. Heard and negatively to Mr. Depp, you wouldn't be here, right? You wouldn't be testifying.
Objection, speculative.
No, okay, sorry.
Hold on. That's not speculation.
No, I'll sustain the objection if you want to ask.
Okay.
Damn, like the lawyer doesn't know what to fucking say.
It goes.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I wonder how much she paid for these lawyers. Like, would she find them off of Craigslist or something?
The bias, Your Honor. Let's talk about makeup for a moment. So, you don't know what type of makeup regimen Amber uses every day, correct? Correct. Okay. And in fact, you don't. And would you agree that there are a number of different types of makeup you can use that would still give you a natural look?
Well, this was this was a good place to pause it. You know, it's kind of hypocritical, her talking about makeup when she's got a load of makeup on her face, dude. Isn't that kind of hypocritical to be talking to somebody about makeup when she's got a shit ton on her face?
There's sun in the Bahamas, right?
No. What kind of question is that? There's sun in the Bahamas. No. No, the sun never shows up in the Bahamas. Ever. It's blue water, but it's dark as shit. It's gray all the time. It's raining. Don't ever go to the Bahamas. What kind of question is that?
Most of the time. Do you number wears for sunscreen?
Is the sun afraid of the Bahamas all of a sudden?
No, I wouldn't have asked if somebody has skin condition.
Like on set, with James Franco? Did you hear that?
I don't recall.
Did you hear him say, at least you liked it?
No.
Did you hear him say, I bet you slipped a tongue in there and you liked it?
Flipped the tongue in there and you liked it. Why does she sound like she's trying to say something? I don't know. Is she like speaking out what her fantasies are in her mind? Is that what's going on here with this lawyer? What the hell?
No.
Did you hear him say, make references to Amber's and asking her if her was wet?
Your Honor, lack of foundation, harassment.
Oh shit. I don't know, man. Maybe she's thinking it in her head. Maybe that's what she's thinking. Holy shit.
Did you hear any of that?
No, not that I recall.
Okay.
I'll overrule the objection. It's fine.
Thanks. And they feel paranoid?
Yes.
And they feel frightened?
Yes.
Afraid that everyone's going to believe the perpetrator, correct?
Yes.
And in fact, they're afraid they're going to lose their security.
There was another article in 2015 that says, quote, has Johnny Depp become Hollywood's biggest joke?
I don't know. Netflix has a whole festival going now. Netflix is a joke.
And you'd agree that there is an article in
Old pervert lawyer. Yeah, maybe she hasn't been laid in a while. I don't know. That's some weird shit to be saying. Asking somebody that up in front of a court. I don't give a shit if you're representing anybody or not. I don't think I'd be saying that.
Why is that?
She was
Another day, another.
I just drank on the job and stuff like that, and her behavior was
Objection relevance.
horrible.
She's already testified. Kate James has testified, and I think the bias, we can...
All right, I'll allow that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Okay. Please describe for the jury what job responsibilities Kate had and how you communicated.
Like her own lawyer can't even ask her own client simple questions. Like her lawyers seem like they're struggling
with her and kind of how that worked.
Objection compound.
Johnny and I kind of lived in this insular bubble anyway when we were together. But we would send emails, texts, and a lot of voice memos, voice notes. And, you know, if I found that if I said, Kate, you know, you left the car.
She can't even get the shit out. Like, you can tell she's lying. Stuttering, she can't even get it out.
Running with your doors open and your kids in the car on the street.
Objection hearsay.
Deposition, didn't you say that what you did was compare Mr. Depp's performance in lots of pirate movies against his deposition testimony here?
What I said was I've seen Mr. Depp do apology ads. I remember he did an apology ad with Bad Dog with no delay in process speed. I've seen him interact with...
Why is this dude's hair all fucked up? Dude, he looks like he stuck his finger in an electric socket.
The media regarding to that. I saw no delay in processing speed. All I'm saying...
Let me ask you about pirates, though. You compared pirates...
The look on that dude's face. He's like, let me ask you about pirates. This guy's eyes got big. Like, what?
To the to the depositions given in this case.
And I apologize for what I said.
You misspoke? You didn't make the comparison?
Right now, just a second ago? Just a second ago, I may have said that I misspoke. I apologize, I misspoke.
Okay.
Ooh.
Because you know you can't compare pirates to sworn testimony, right?
Yes.
Okay.
But you can, but as an aside, you can judge someone's processing speed at any time. Like I'm judging yours right now, you're judging mine. We all judge processing speed.
What? Yeah, that's what I'm sitting here thinking. I'm like, what the hell is he saying?
Oh. Okay.
As a baseline, because of what we know about each other, I would say your process speed right now is not slow. So, I mean, we're judging processing speed. I'm just saying to you.
Yeah. But no, any of Mr. Depp's other portrayals in movies, did that affect your analysis of processing speed?
Only I've seen him interact on interviews, and that was it. Right. When he wasn't in movies.
Right. But Willy Wonka doesn't matter to you?
What the fuck? Willy Wonka? Where did she get these lawyers, dude? Like, the shit he's asking don't even make sense.
You see him in that movie, Charlie and Chocolate Factory? Did you look at that one when you were comparing
I think we've all seen
processing speed?
He's like, do I gotta fucking answer that? Like, really?
Do I have to answer that question, Your Honor?
Do I have to
You
answer?
have to answer questions. Yes, sir.
No, you'll be happy to know I didn't see Willy Wonka I didn't see 21 Jump Street when it happened, or whatever it was about. No, I did not.
All right.
Damn.
Your Honor, there is Ms. Schulman, also the ACLU, acknowledged that Ms. Heard's op-ed referred to Mr. Depp. So it's very clear that the ACLU and Ms. Heard intended. That was the whole purpose of this, so that they could get interest in this and it would coincide with the premiere of Aquaman, because otherwise no one would have been interested in any.
Do you think any of those people that are behind them are there, or like even any family members of either one of them? They're probably just fans for, I don't know, they might be fans for both, but probably fans for Johnny. I bet you they don't even have a single person back there that they know.
anything written by Ms. Heard.
Another day, another slay. Period.
Mr. Doherty also testified that Ms. Heard only paid 1.3, actually she didn't even pay all that, out of the $3.5 million that she had pledged to the ACLU. And then they helped her lie about it.
More under strike everything after
I was trying to stop
the
that.
answer to her question.
Your Honor, she was responding.
I'll overrule the objection. That's fine.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This is a situation where you were trying to get Mr. Depp to pay attention to you. Isn't that right?
No, I was trying to stop him from using.
And because he ran away from you at the first sign of trouble, you call him a monster.
I was
right?
trying to stop him from turning into the monster. The drugs are the key that opened the door.
Now, I know it's no secret that Johnny Depp was doing drugs and drinking. I get that. But do I think he was hitting on women? No, I don't think so. Has he done drugs? 100%. He's even admitted it himself, you know? He's like, yeah, I've done drugs, drink. Don't mean you're hitting women, though.
Who was the real monster in this relationship, Ms. Heard?
Lives in Johnny. It's half of Johnny. It's not all of Johnny. The other half of him is wonderful and beautiful and the man I love.
You write a
Okay, well, okay, well, if that was the case, you wouldn't be trying to fucking sue him or divorce him for that matter.
long series of text messages to Mr. Depp that don't get a response. Is that correct?
That is correct.
You write, come grown, face the shit, and we can do anything. You go on a little later to say, please come home. Let's apologize to each together. And continuing on page 77, you write,
Damn.
not go to bed mad. And it goes on. And I won't read all these messages, but you're saying, please answer over and over again. Right?
It was very important to me.
Yeah, it was very important to her, guys.
Good morning, Dr. Moore.
Good morning.
You said you reviewed Mr. Depp's video deposition. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And you said you reviewed Mr. Depp's testimony at this trial, correct?
That's correct.
And was that also a video of his testimony?
I wonder how much he had to pay for his lawyers. I wonder what his total bill ended up being. I mean, he had to pay the shit ton, but it was money well worth spent, man, because damn, dude. I mean, they were, especially her, dude. She was just fucking wrecking everybody.
Yes.
Isn't it true, Dr. Moore, that when Mr. Depp did the demonstration in his deposition, he showed that his fingers were hanging over the bar?
Well, even hanging over the bar, it still leaves the dorsum of the hand or the nail vulnerable.
That's not my question, Dr. Moore. My question is, isn't it true that Mr. Depp said his fingers were not laying flat on a table, they were hanging over the bar?
Yes.
Okay. And in fact, you knew that when you made that opinion. Isn't that correct?
Well, I believe that as I demonstrated sitting here,
Yeah, he's stuttering. He's stuttering.
that I said that he had said they were slightly curled over, I think was the description that I gave.
Your description in this courtroom was that it was laying flat, and I think you've done that now twice. But in your deposition, you testified that his fingers were actually hanging over the bar. Isn't that correct?
Objection, Your Honor. Misstates the witness's testimony. He clearly indicated they were curled. Or could have been curled.
Overruled.
Are we really sitting here arguing about whether somebody's fingers were hanging over a bar and curled? Is this what it's come down to? The fuck, ain't nobody saying shit.
During your deposition, what were the circumstances under which you decided to call Mr. Depp an idiot?
Under somebody call Mr. Depp an idiot?
Yeah, you called Mr. Depp an idiot in your deposition. Why?
Okay. So I think it was in the context. I think it was in the. You probably should read the context of it, because I think the context was.
He's like, bitch, you should read the whole fucking thing. Did you read the whole thing?
And I'm trying to think back. Okay? And what I thought it was related to was if you're coming to some deposition, okay? And again, I'm thinking back, so you have it in front of you. I don't. So I'm thinking back.
Is it your practice to describe people as idiots?
My practice.
Yeah, if they're fucking stupid. Yeah, I'd call them an idiot if they're stupid.
In my practice,
And I thought it was based at least in part on the manner in which he testified.
I'm sorry, what?
On the manner in which he testified.
On the manner, I'm sorry, I'm not being difficult. I can't hear. I'm sorry. On what?
Talked about the fact that Mr. Depp indicates that from time to time he uses an earpiece.
Yeah, I mean, I read that, yes.
Okay.
What the fuck is him using an earpiece got to do with anything?
Did you read the testimony of Mr. Wyatt, who told you what was being pumped into that earpiece?
Yeah, I mean, if I remember right, I mean, I think it was lines, right?
No, it was music.
It was music, not his lines?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if
he's like, if you say so, he's like, you got the papers in front of you. Why are you fucking asking me? You got the papers in front of you. Answer your own question.
Mr. Depp was listening to music rather than being fed his lines, does that change your opinion as to his cognitive function?
If he was never fed his lines through the earpiece, which I know he was, and that may have been that example, Mr.
He's like, how did he know? How did he know? He wasn't there.
Wyatt may have said that it was music.
He's full of shit.
During the actual talking of your lines. Is that what you're saying to me?
Well, you know, if you can do two things at once, that's a pretty high cognitive function, isn't it, sir?
You know, it's a very good point, actually. Divided attention is something humans have a lot of trouble in.
But what you found hard to believe, sir, was that every line of the script was pumped.
He's trying not to laugh. He's like, this is just fucking stupid.
Through an earpiece. Where did you ever get the idea that occurred?
That's what I read in the court review, the court evidence. That's where I got it from.
Right. And you know whether Marlon Brando used an earpiece?
Isn't he dead?
Yeah.
So the answer is no. He does not use one now.
Oh, I used the.
Isn't he dead? Holy shit! Oh, talk about a fuck up. Like, no, he's dead. He can't use an earpiece.
Past tense, sir.
Oh, I'm sorry.
He's fucking dead. She has a cool job. Looks fun. $70K a year just to be a transcribe everything being said in court. That's not a bad gig.
All the text messages for the last 18 months in which he's scoring drugs, in which you'll hear testimony from people in which he's gotten drunk and you know, taken all kinds of different drugs. The whole time. He doesn't get clean and sober. But he claims that he was clean. She flew in from filming The Danish Girls. She's there, and he claims that he was just sitting there calmly, and she was haranguing him. So he took a shot glass of vodka. He did that. She got mad, took the bottle of vodka, was 8 to 10 feet, about where I am from you, and hurled it at him, and it happened to just take off the bottom part of his finger. And then he says she came and burned a hole in his cheek. The testimony is going to be that he self-mutilated on a number of occasions and burned himself in the cheek, and also...
Really? He's fucking cutting his own fingers off and burning himself?
Cut himself. But Amber never did that. And you're going to hear from the experts testifying about this finger injury and how fantastic this version is. Feces on the bed, and had been upset about it and taken a picture and sent it to him. So all of a sudden, a month later, he's got it in his head that Amber has conspired with her friends to defecate on the bed. It's human, not dog, even though they got 2 dogs and one of them has major problems. You'll hear about Boo and Pistol.
Yeah. Yeah, the dogs got the runs, man. That was the dogs that took a shit on the bed. Yeah, whatever.
How many times they were in their fights, and she said
she's almost half his size. So she said, if I pushed him, he doesn't move. He pushes me, I go flying across the room. There are many, many, many photographs.
What the fuck was that flying across the room?
Now, you heard Ms. Vasquez try to say, you can't trust those, it's not the originals.
She forgot her diaper.
It's not from the original devices. Ms. Heard took all kinds of photographs, and her friends took photographs, and all of those remained on the cloud, and all of them have been imaged, and all of them have been examined by their IT experts, and they cannot discredit one photograph. Then she says, and it's got a photo editing thing. Well,
yeah, bitch, you're gonna regret that. Yep, she's gonna straighten you out real quick, old lady.
iPhones have the photo editing. It's where you can make it a little lighter or darker. You can move it to the center. Or why Mr. Depp couldn't or wouldn't look you in the eye here or in the UK. You said, yes, you know. Why? Because he's guilty.
Yeah, just because she says he's guilty. Well, if we're going by that logic, I mean, shit, I'm gonna try that. Be out there and be like, hey, you're guilty. For what? I don't know. You're guilty. You just look guilty. Anybody can be guilty then.
Shades. There's this light coming across.
Why does she... Why does she look like Jesus? Like Jesus coming up to the podium.
I appreciate that. It's probably good light.
You've left nothing and I've left everything. So suck your dick.
Yeah, go on.
Which is
Hey, he didn't say suck my dick. He said suck your dick.
probably your next move.
Maybe she has one. We don't know. She might have one.
No, I don't want to suck your dick. I don't want nothing to do with your fucking midsection. Well, go get it, man.
Because I need something. No shit, I can't. Suck your dick.
I don't want to.
Why is she trying to coax him into saying this shit? She's trying to coax him into saying, suck my dick, Amber. And he's not even doing it. And he has no idea that he's even being recorded, I'm sure. And he's still saying, I don't think so. Wow.
Oh, is it what is it?
But she, for her to have all these recordings, she had to have been pre-planning this shit for a while. That's crazy.
No, I'm sure Rochelle's available. Call her up. I'm sure she's available.
Maybe she is.
Damn, that sounds like a witch's laugh.
That's fake laugh.
Damn, that sounds like a psychotic laugh. She's fucked in the head, seriously.
She wants to take
No, I'm sure she's.
that fake laugh. It's so disgusting.
I'm
man.
sure she's great. I'm sure she's great.
I'm thinking that you do some
No.
of the best performances in
No,
the
no, you're right. I don't. It's all about performance.
Well, you could tell, she sounds like she's just manipulative, man. Manipulative. If anything, he was probably abused in the relationship, honestly.
I don't regret. I don't regret.
Oh, what else?
I don't.
What else? What else other things do you want to add?
Can't talk
You
to me,
fucking
sound
lying piece of shit. What?
She
I
slapped
want
him.
to know. I want to know.
Get out your Ubers
I'm
out.
kind of waiting. You go get it.
Yeah,
Dude, this is fucking cringe, dude. Like, she's trying to coax him into saying shit that she could get on recording, and he's not biting at all. I wonder... Yeah, for real. Narcissist, for sure. I wonder if he eventually, figured out that she was recording him, or if he ever even knew that she was recording him at any point.
Wait, is there no other place for you to run in your 15 other houses?
Could you tell the jury what the coaster was that he slipped into your pocket, what it said?
It said, "I love you forever, my Slim, dead or alive."
And what, if anything, did it have in addition?
His new phone number.
And to be, just so we're clear, on how many occasions in that second mediation did Mr. Depp look you in the eye?
Many.
Okay. And when Ms. Vasquez...
Yeah, he looked in my eyes many times. That's a fucking problem. That's a stalker. He looked in my eyes too much.
asked you if you knew why Mr. Depp couldn't or wouldn't look you in the eye here or in the UK, you said, yes, you know. Why? Please tell the jury why.
Because he's guilty. Because
Because he's guilty. Yeah, girl, you wish. Yeah, you wish I was guilty.
he knows he's lying. Otherwise, why can't he look at me?
Because they don't want to look at you. I wouldn't want to look at you. Hell no. If I was going through that shit and I knew I didn't do anything, I wouldn't be looking at you.
Thank you.
I don't want to.
You were asked about it.
I survived. I survived that man, and I'm here, and I'm able to look at him.
Oh, she survived. She survived him. And she's able to stare at him. She's able to look at him. She's so brave. She survived. And I can stare at him and he won't look at me. No, he don't want to look at you.
Fucking like thinking that I'm going on the road with a band.
Hey, I can't hear you.
You told Mr. Depp to suck your dick multiple times, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
What?
You tell him to go run to his 15 other houses, right?
That's correct.
Because that's what he would do when you behave like this, isn't it?
Eventually, he would go and stay.
I would too. If she was behaving like that and I had 15 other houses, I'd be going staying in another house too. I'd be like, hey, you can stay here at this house. Shit, you can even have this house. I got 14 others. Goodbye.
One of the other houses.
You call him a sellout, don't you?
I was expressing frustration about his criticism of my career and how many problems that caused within the dynamic of our relationship, yes.
So you call him a sellout and a joke?
I called him horrible, ugly things, as you can hear. And
Sellout.
We spoke to each other in a really horrible way.
Pretty sure we just heard.
It's probably more like she spoke to him in a horrible way and he just responded in kind. That's probably more like what it was.
You speak to him in a really horrible way. You called him a sellout,
I just
right, Miss
disagree.
Heard? You called him a sellout, right, Miss Heard?
I called him a lot of ugly things.
And a joke.
I called him a lot of ugly things.
You called him a joke on that recording. You called him a washed up piece of shit.
I think we both...
Well, no. I don't know about him being a washed up piece of shit. You know, the only one that had a piece of shit was her on the bed. So I think she's the washed up piece of shit.
Called each other that on that occasion, yes.
Mr. Depp mentions Aquaman, doesn't he?
Yes, he does.
Mr. Depp got you that role in Aquaman, didn't he?
Excuse me?
Mr. Depp.
Yeah, he got you that role, didn't he? He got you that role. I've never even seen Aquaman. Like, I've never seen it. I don't even know. I can't imagine. I wouldn't watch it anyways, knowing she's in it. But I can't imagine anything she'd be in would be good anyways.
Got you that role in Aquaman, didn't he?
No, Miss Vasquez, I got myself that role by auditioning.
Right.
That's
Mr.
how that
Depp
works.
says, quote, your jealousy is so tragic.
I heard him say that, yes.
You were the jealous one in this relationship, weren't you, Miss Heard?
I think he was indicating I was jealous of his career.
But now you've twisted it to say it was Mr. Depp. That's the jealous.
Yeah, I think what she ultimately was doing, like, I don't know her history, but I think ultimately what her goal was is she thought she could get with him, and she knew that he had a bunch of money, and one of two things was going to happen. Either she was going to use his leverage to jumpstart her career and make money that way. Or if that didn't work, she was going to divorce him and take a huge chunk of his money. So I think she thought either way she was going to win. And it all backfired on her. Oh, yeah. I'm not going to say they're all nuts, but big majority. Big fucking majority.
Jealous one. Johnny's always been very jealous when I worked, when I did anything, friends. Yes, he's always been very jealous.
Isn't he aware
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's more like she was jealous of him, if anything.
that Mr. Depp has testified under oath that he would not take another Pirates of the Caribbean franchise role for $300 million and a million alpacas?
No.
Would Disney entertain paying Mr. Depp more than
He looks like he's just having fun through this whole thing, dude. He looks like he's just having fun.
$300 million and provide him with more than a million alpacas to be able to obtain his services for any future Pirates of the Caribbean role?
No.
So you would have been marked as deposition exhibit number. Beginning here, you were asked by Ms. Vasquez about
It's funny watching him laugh, man. He's just like he just can't even hold it back.
why Mr. Depp won't or can't look you in the eye. And she read out.
He probably can't look at her in the eyes because he probably started busting out laughing out loud in front of everybody.
Or she played a tape in which Mr. Depp said, "You will not see my eyes again." Do you recall that?
I do.
Oh my gosh, what was that voice that she just did? You will not see my eyes again. You will not see my eyes again.
And that was during the
Hold on.
mediation process.
Hold on, we gotta go back.
Would have been marked as deposition exhibit number. Beginning here, you were asked by Ms. Vasquez about why Mr. Depp won't or can't look you in the eye. And she read out, or she played a tape in which Mr. Depp said, "You will not see my eyes again." Do you recall that?
I do.
And that was
You will
during the
not see my
mediation
eyes
process in July, correct?
That was
Objection leading.
first one.
Sustained
Okay.
leading.
When was this?
That was in July of 2016. That was the first mediation.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, my eyes keep watering from laughing. Oh, this is gold. This is great. This is fucking dude. I would love to know how much he spent on these lawyers though. And I'd love to know how much she spent on hers because her lawyers are just I don't know where she got them from.
Attempt. We met after that, and Johnny very much looked me in the eye.
Please tell the jury about the next meeting after he said, "You will not see my eyes again."
We met in the lawyer's office.
You will not see
They gave
my
us
eyes again.
a moment. Johnny kissed me again, held me. I cried, he cried, and then we had a short exchange, and he put a note in my pocket that said, "I'll love you dead or alive, my Slim."
What's up, fellas? How you doing?
Well, he's got a fan base. She don't.
Thank you so much. I just made breakfast for all of them this morning. Waffle.
He did.
Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, sir. Have a great day. Good morning, sir. Good morning.
What did he do? Have like waffles delivered to everybody that was standing outside waiting on him? That'd be crazy. That'd be a good strategy, though.
To take a look at Plaintiff's Exhibit 881A. This is one of the articles containing the counterclaim statements by Adam Waldman. Is that correct?
I haven't seen the article yet.
Why don't we go to page 8 of this article? Adam Waldman, Depp's lawyer, said afterwards, quote, Amber Heard and her friends in the media use fake sexual violence allegations as both a sword and shield, depending on their needs. They have selected some of her sexual violence hoax facts as a sword, inflicting them on the public and Mr. Depp. Do you
Oh, yep, she's fucked.
see that?
Yes, I do.
Is that one of the statements that you allege are defamatory? It's defamatory?
That's correct.
Ms. Heard, you tweeted at Adam Waldman, quote, yes, Mr. Waldman, I may be wearing makeup on this occasion, but on every occasion...
Good God, look at her face in that picture. Dude, she looks like fucking Walking Dead. Look at her, she's like pale white, red lipstick, and looks like looks like somebody just like splashed a whole bottle of baby powder on her face.
You will still be short. Did I read that right?
Yes.
We can put this down. Thank you. Ms. Heard, since your relationship with Mr. Depp ended, you have completed your level 3 sommelier training,
Yeah, the female Michael Jackson, for sure.
haven't you?
I haven't completed it yet. I
You're
just
on level
stopped.
2.
No, I'm on level 3.
You also have had a baby, right?
I have.
And you enjoy being a mother?
More than anything.
You still love to cook?
I do.
And you love to hike?
I bet you she don't cook shit, dude. I bet you she don't cook a damn thing.
I've taken a break on hiking for a minute.
You have friends, right?
I do have friends.
I take that back. I take that back. She probably does now that she don't have his money anymore. But I guarantee you, while she had his money, she wasn't cooking. That's for damn sure. I'm just saying. She might now that she ain't got all that money.
You spend time with those friends?
Occasionally, when I can.
And you exercise regularly?
Every day.
You just filmed a movie in March of 2022, isn't that right?
Yes, the one I just shot in Guatemala that I spoke of earlier.
And you
In Guatemala? The fuck kind of movie are we shooting in Guatemala?
you had a major role in a major film that's scheduled to be released soon. Is that correct? Aquaman 2?
As I said, I don't know if I will even be in the final cut. Or
Wait a minute, they had an Aquaman 2? Did she make the final cut for that movie? Anybody that's seen it in chat? Did she make the cut for that?
how much I will be. It was difficult to stay in the movie.
From me, or coming from Jerry, from me, so that he finds out about the divorce filing, or my intention to do so, from some other source other than TMZ, which was alerted.
Why did she looks crazy here? Like when this was back in 2016. I think she's just crazy, period.
You slipped up there, didn't you, Miss Heard? You let it slip out that TMZ had been alerted to your filing of the domestic violence restraining order, didn't you?
I disagree. That's not what I'm talking about.
TMZ is the same outlet that you released the video of Mr. Depp attacking the kitchen cabinets the day before this deposition was taken, wasn't it?
I didn't do that. I don't know how to do that.
TMZ owns the copyright to that video now, doesn't it?
I like how she's playing stupid now. Like, I don't know how to do that. I wouldn't know how to do it. That's crazy.
I have no idea what TMZ
Did they
owns.
pay you for that?
Said she was not completely
I never got
cut
paid
from
for it because
AM2.
I had nothing to do with that.
So
Oh,
TMZ
so she
was
must
just
have got in
lucky in
there
getting
too,
the
damn.
inside scoop to your divorce.
Well, that's two movies I won't be watching. I've never seen Aquaman 1. I damn sure ain't gonna see 2 either.
From Mr. Depp, huh?
I have no idea. It is not. That's not my area of expertise. I wouldn't even know how to do that.
Right.
He said,
sure.
hips and thighs. Hips.
And also, what does that get me? If I wanted to leak things about Johnny, I could have done that in a much more successful way, in a bigger way, for years.
Not
and
when
years.
you were extorting him.
Yeah, she probably did some things to not get cut, 100%. Yeah, she was probably crawling on all fours. It's probably what she was doing.
For $7 million.
I got a fraction of what I was entitled to in the state of California, by the way.
Right.
What extortion?
Is that right?
That is correct.
So it was during these cycles of violence in 2012 that you gave Mr. Depp a knife as a gift.
What?
I gave him a knife, I think for a birthday present early in our relationship. I believe it was around 2012, but I'm
Who the hell gives somebody a knife as a gift? I don't know. I don't think I've never given anybody a knife as a gift. Nobody's ever given me a knife as a gift. Who the hell does that?
not certain.
We've seen a picture of that knife, but I think we should bring out the real thing.
Damn, that's a big knife.
Yes, that's it.
That's the knife you gave to the man who was hitting you, right, Miss Heard?
I wasn't worried he was.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. Checkmate, bitch. If he's beating on you, why the hell are you going to give him a knife? Damn, that's the last thing you want. If he's beating on you, he might stab me too.
He was going to stab me with it when I gave it to him, that's for certain.
But you gave it to him while
Oh, now all of a sudden she's afraid he was going to stab her. Yeah, okay.
he was abusing you, allegedly.
I gave it to him that year.
Do you remember that testimony?
Yes, I do.
Those locks were to the penthouses at the Eastern Columbia building, isn't that correct?
That's correct.
But you changed the locks to the penthouses on May 22nd, 2016.
I attempted to.
That's why you felt comfortable having James Franco over the evening of May 22nd, 2016, Miss Heard?
I do not know when.
Oh, isn't that the dude? Is that the dude? Did she cheat on him or something? Like, did she have another dude over at Johnny's house? Boy, that'd be super fucked up. Like, if you're gonna cheat, man, don't be doing it in the same fucking house. Damn.
I do not know when James came over.
Okay, let's remind you. Can we please pull up Plaintiff's Exhibit 304, which is already in evidence, and play from 254 through 439?
What the fuck? Who the hell is this guy? And they're in Johnny's place. Wow, that's fucked up, man. If you're gonna cheat, at least fucking have the decency to like do it not in the same fucking house. Damn. Man.
It's you and Mr.
Who is this guy? This looks like it's somebody she picked up off the street. Like fucking backpack, like picked up some homeless dude.
Franco on May 22nd, 2016, right, Miss Heard?
That's correct.
And you're taking him up to the penthouses, aren't you?
That's where I lived, yes.
And it's past 11 p.m. at night, isn't that right?
I'm not quite sure of the time it looked like that.
You knew Mr. Depp was out of town on May 27th when you went to get the domestic violence restraining order.
Oh, wait until you went out of town. Damn. Yeah, she was calculating this whole thing. Unfortunately, none of this shit went the way she thought it was going to go.
Not right?
I don't know if I knew that at the time.
You knew Mr. Depp was heading out on a European tour that week, isn't that right?
I'm not quite sure what I understood of his schedule at that time.
You knew he wouldn't be back for weeks, right?
No, that's incorrect.
You dipped your finger in paint after suffering an injury.
What?
Yes.
Well, I bet you she ain't got no fans out there screaming for her. Man, him and his lawyers look like they're just fucking chill. Like they just seem like they're all just cool together. And I don't even know if I could really blame her lawyers. Like it's kind of hard to defend somebody that there's no way that her lawyers couldn't have known that like everything she was saying was bullshit. It's kind of hard to defend somebody that you know is lying. So, I mean, maybe they did the best they could, but I wouldn't even have taken the case because it made her lawyers look like that had to hurt their career because they just look like clowns in there. Bet she got lost.
was Pirates. Bless you.
Paul Bettany, correct?
Again.
Okay. So the boss, let's pull up Exhibit 500, please.
500?
500, Defense Exhibit 500.
Yeah, let's see
I'd
it.
like to see who I lied to.
All right, three.
I'd like to see who I lied to.
We're going to go with plaintiff's 380. Try to keep the record clear. 380A and
But I guess he was just laughing through this whole fucking thing. That's crazy.
33. 234. Okay, go ahead.
Legally recorded tape.
This is at your house in West Hollywood on Sweetser Avenue, correct?
That's correct, sir.
And that's you in the video, Mr. Depp, right?
That's correct, sir.
Did I read that
Looks
right?
like me.
You did.
Can you just read for the jury that first text?
You'd like me to read that?
Yes, please.
Sure, Mr. Rottenborn. Is the slippery hooper that I donated my jizz to for a while staying there?
And can you please, we'll get it to you. How about
What?
that?
Oh, joy. Okay. All right.
Can't say that you carried cocaine in that box?
No, but it looks like it would fit some cocaine. I once gave
It's like, no, I wasn't carrying cocaine in the box, but it looks like cocaine could fit in there.
Marilyn Manson a pill so that he would stop talking so much.
Did I read that right?
You did.
Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
And you don't know if it's actually human beings doing these
Continue to
searches,
read them right.
correct?
As opposed to
As opposed to bots or something
Wait,
like that.
hold on. What the fuck did he say?
Did I read that correctly?
You did.
Okay. Did I read that right?
Yes, you did.
Did I read that right?
You continue to read them right, yes.
And you don't know if it's actually human beings doing these searches, correct?
as
What?
opposed to
As opposed
What's he saying? Like aliens? Aliens did the search?
to bots or something like that.
Bots.
I did not do
The aliens are here, guys. The aliens are here. What searches are they doing?
an analysis to
But you don't know if it's humans, bots, my cat doing the searches, correct?
Object.
Really? A cat? Yeah, cats are always searching for all kinds of different things.
Was Mr. Depp to play in Pirate 6?
Objection calls for speculation
I'll allow
and
it.
hearsay.
I'll allow it.
Captain Jack Sparrow.
Your future is on display. Best of luck.
Best if luck.
Thank you for the correction. Best if luck.
You're welcome.
And thank
If she went home
Damn, he's like,
to
read it
go to
correctly.
change or something like that, I got no clue.
Do you remember what color the T-shirt was?
I think it might have been white. Best of my recollection.
Do you remember what jewelry Amber had on? Oh. Okay, let's go to the next day,
He's like, no, I didn't fucking sleep with her. I don't know what she was wearing.
the Wednesday, and you've got all these people here.
Next day is Tuesday.
Okay.
Not a raincoat, but it could be similar to that.
Okay.
Can't even
What
get
was
the
she wearing
days
underneath?
right.
Oh, I have no clue.
Okay.
How the fuck would he know what she was wearing under it? He didn't sleep with her. Although he probably could have, if he tried. If she could pick up a homeless person off the with a backpack, you know.
And do you remember what jewelry she was wearing?
No.
Now, you said that on the 22nd that you kissed her on the cheek.
What day?
The 22nd, your birthday?
22nd, Sunday, yes.
Okay. So when you showed it the first time, you went like this, right? And then the next time when you said you did the kisses, you went like this. What's your tip?
Why the fuck she look like a chicken bobbing her head? Oh my gosh. She's making herself look like a fool.
Typical way of kissing women when you greet them or say goodbye.
I'm not understanding any of what you just did.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, bitch, why are you looking like a chicken right now?
Okay. Well, I take it that you would regularly kiss Amber on the cheek when you to say hello and to say goodbye?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
And tell us how you did that.
Objection.
Could you show?
Really? You know what I would say? Call her bluff. Tell her, okay, you want me to show you? Why don't you come up here to the stand? I'll kiss you on the cheek. I wouldn't want to kiss her on the cheek, but still, call her bluff. Tell her, why don't you come over here? I'll show you.
That's how you did that?
Which time? Regularly?
Did you have? So it's a pretty soft. It's kind of like almost a superficial one, or is it a really hard one on the cheek?
No.
Did you ever do a two kiss when you greeted Amber?
Why? Okay. All right. Why is this lady lawyer of Amber's? Why does she seem like has she not been late in a while or something? Like, what the fuck's going on with her? Why is she asking all these weird ass questions? Like earlier, she's talking about, I don't know, saying some weird shit. Now she's back on that weird shit again. What is wrong with her?
No, I'm not European. I'm from Brooklyn.
And again, do you know whether she was wearing any Amica cream?
How the fuck would he know?
Sir, if you could just answer
I'm
this
sorry.
question.
I'm totally sorry. I'm
Thank
sorry.
you, sir.
Jeez. How would he know if she's wearing Amica cream?
Child. Anyway, so.
It's alpaca day.
Alpaca day. Oh, she almost got in Johnny's vehicle. Boy, that would have been a huge fuck up, huh?
That would have been interesting.
I'm a licensed clinical psychologist. I've been licensed for 10 years, and I've been practicing for about 15 years.
If 2 + 2 is 4, right?
So she's a licensed. So it's basically she's a licensed. So basically, what this lady's saying, she's crazy, and she's certified licensed crazy.
And 5 + 5 is 10. Okay.
You also have only been practicing approximately 8 years, is that correct?
What the fuck is this?
That's not correct.
Okay. Now, you went to Mr. Depp's home for dinner and drinks before you were hired as an expert in this case, correct?
That's not quite right.
Repeatedly and characterologically perpetuated severe physical and psychological intimate partner violence, IPV, toward Mr. Depp over the course of their relationship. Did I read that correctly?
It says perpetrated.
Okay. Can
Oh,
you read that to the
shit.
jury, please?
Yes. So no, it's not the task. I was cut off, or what I said then was, no,
Dr.
that's
Curry.
not the task of dash. That was never my task to determine. Task of dash. That was never my task to determine. Can I say what that means?
No. The question
No.
that you have never arrived at an opinion, Mr. Depp, are false. End of quote. And what was your answer?
My answer was, fuck you, bitch.
Well, there was an objection.
Opinion that has never been my opinion. Isn't that what
Correct.
you said?
Yeah.
You know what I would love to do? I don't want to be in a court situation like this, but if I ever was, like, I would love to just like play like the lawyers' games back with them. Like they ask me a question, I'd just be like, I object. Like, what do you mean you object? I object. Ask me a question. It's hearsay. Hearsay. I'd love to. That would be hilarious. I would love to do that.
Escucha las palabras de las brujas.
And then I wrote, then I'm going to ask you, do you know who wrote this portion of the designation suggesting that these were your opinion in February
Hearsay.
of 2021? And what was your answer?
Valentine's Day. Like, seriously, like, I would be in bed all day, and then,
Hey, speaking of Ellen DeGeneres, did you guys know that I didn't, I knew she was a dyke, but I did not fucking know that she was as mean to her people, like her staff. Like, apparently she used to abuse the shit out of her staff. That's crazy. I never liked her anyways.
And then
You have never been asked to testify as to whether anyone has behaviorally or characterologically conducted conduct that suggests they may be an IPV perpetrator, correct?
What?
That doesn't make no sense.
No, it don't.
My man.
I have to ask that again because I stumbled. I can't
Thank
do
you.
characterologically. That one's just a tough one for me.
What?
She was evil. She was a real bitch to her guests too. Dang. I knew she was a bitch to her staff, but I didn't know she was even to the guests. Dang. No wonder why she ain't got a show no more. Swears to tell the truth. Yeah, okay.
I do.
Okay, this is bullshit. I don't, they make you raise your right hand. They're like, "Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, so help you God?" People lie in court all the time, man. Just because you do that don't mean they're going to tell the truth. Cops do that shit all the time. Cops lie in court. So, doing that whole "you swear to tell the truth" thing doesn't mean shit.
I am an actor, mostly.
Yeah, and she was trying to act on the podium too.
Dr. Curry, if you, I mean, Dr. Hughes.
Dr. Curry. She called the wrong person.
My apologies. My apologies. Dr. Hughes.
I think this lady, she's got so much, the questions that she's been asking throughout this whole thing. I think she's got her mind so fucking dirty. She don't even know who the hell she's fixing to go up there and talk to. She's probably thinking about what kind of dirty questions she can ask this dude.
Is the confusion of having her in the courtroom. If you need to consult your notes to
Basically, what she's trying to say is, hey, if you're looking for a lady, if you need a lady, I'm here. I'm right here. I'm right in front of you. Just pick me, please.
answer something, let us know that you need to consult your notes. Otherwise, try to answer to the best of your ability. And then if you need to do that, just let us know you're consulting your notes, okay? The concern is that you not read from them, that you consult them as you need to, okay?
Correct. I just don't.
Not read from them, but consult them if you need to. Well, she's got to read them if she's got to refer to them. She's got to read them.
I want this to be a memory test of having conducted many documents, 80 pages of notes,
But you
12
No, my bad. I'm sorry.
psychological testings to.
You can reference your notes, just don't read from them, okay?
No problem.
Okay, great.
Escucha las palabras de las brujas.
You can reference your notes, just don't read from them, okay?
Okay, so I reviewed a number of documents, a plethora of documents. Most, I obviously won't read them all of Ms. Heard's testimony that she gave in her deposition. Did the same thing from Mr. Depp. I reviewed his deposition testimony as well as his trial testimony.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Be seated. All right, your next witness.
Your Honor, we'd like to call Laura Amber Heard to the stand.
All right.
Amber Laura.
Oh no! What is up with this lady? She messed up her own. She messed up her own client's name. Hey, what's up, Christian? What's up, man? Damn, that's crazy, yo.
Your hope.
That is fucking crazy. But yeah, this was a good stream, y'all, man. We've been going for almost 3 hours, man. Christian, you came in at the last minute, dude. You came in like literally right at the end of the stream. Yeah, you did. All right, but I'm gonna have to call it a night, guys. I appreciate everybody tuning in with me. I appreciate Christy being here. Christian, I appreciate you coming in last minute, and everybody else on Rumble and YouTube. I appreciate you guys, man. I'll definitely be back here hopefully tomorrow between like 5 and 8 Eastern time. But I appreciate y'all tuning in with me, man. But I'm going to have to call it tonight. I'd love to go longer, but I'm going to have to get up early tomorrow. So at any rate, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, y'all.